moon and back. I love that. Hi, Huntress. Good to see you, sis. Dimusha ya kuikina ya fia what tumbambura na matarania. Dia utua dia sa taratiran no tatukafa. How's everybody feeling tonight? Where's everybody at? Where's everybody tuning in from? It's always so good to see so many familiar faces. Hi, Karen's guy. Karen guy. Yeah, thank you, Gigi. Thank you, I appreciate that. I love that one. Hi, Nero Spicy Sage. Kusafia, it's so good to see you, and thank you so much for subscribing. Hi, Melissa. Love that luminous soul. Bushawa. Hey, Joshua. How are you feeling? Welcome. From Edmonton. So happy to have you. I'm a grateful being. Hello, I love that username. I see Chad Michael in the house. Hi, yo. Hi, the Raspberry Phoenix. Good to see you. Did you change your username? I feel like I recognize the energy, but I don't recognize the username. The Raspberry Phoenix, I like it. And thank you for subscribing. Hey, brother. Southern California here. You're new. Awesome. Well, welcome. I'm Trixie. Welcome. If you're not familiar with what I do, I am an energy worker. So I guess if there was a label that kind of fits what I do best, it would probably be a quantum architect. And I know that just sounds like fluffy words, and it is. But if it could describe what I do, that's probably the closest. So I essentially work with energetic structures. So the idea of kind of like sacred geometry, and I use certain tools that we would identify as like light language or light linguistics in order to affect these energetic structures. So we can make rapid shifts in the recipients with the idea of like healing or activations, upgrades, essentially, if that makes any sense. But I'm always happy to answer your questions. Just got back to Kentucky. Welcome home. I'm doing well, thank you. Panada, Bucket Panada. Hi from Indiana. Awesome, GG. From Phoenix. Hi, Triple Moon Goddess. I keep switching PFPS. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Amanda. I appreciate you. Tarrieta Asiana, North Dakota. That was just a picture. Okay. Well, we love you being here too. So tonight we are doing personalized transmissions. And these are people that have already booked ahead. So they snagged their list ahead. And I haven't posted the next one yet, but I will shortly after. I'll probably post tomorrow. So if you're interested in getting a personalized transmission that's like encoded specifically for you, you can go to the link in my bio and do that ahead of time. And then you can reserve your slot. And even if you can't make it to the live, I'm going to still do it in the order that it was received. And when I do that, I'm going to be posting the replay afterwards on YouTube with timestamps. So you can go back and you can play it even if you can't make it at that time. So you get a personalized transmission. And it actually can be really beneficial to go back and play your transmission again and again. It'll go deeper and deeper, or can have the same effect depending on what's coming through for you. So just keep that in mind if you're ever interested in the future. Am I full today? Yeah. But there's always energetic spillover. So that's what's important to recognize as well, is that like I wouldn't be doing it in this public space like this if there wasn't a benefit to everybody who's open to receive. So I like to use the analogy like, you know, it's like I'm writing and performing a healing song, or like a song, and activate a transmission for one specific person that's in the room with all of us in this container. And that song that I'm writing and performing in this analogy, oh, thank you, Sassy, Ray. And the song in this analogy is like to the vibe of that individual likes, you know, like it's the right type of music, it's hip hop or whatever they're into. And the lyrics are like written specifically for them, so they like really resonate, and you know, they might trigger some emotional stuff, whatever. But that doesn't mean that other people in the room don't hear the music, right? And can vibe with it, can dance to it, they can resonate with the lyrics, they can take the lyrics in their own way. So this is the multidimensionality of how this stuff works, and so that's why we do it in this space, because everybody can benefit if they're open to it. Of course, we're not pushing anything onto anybody else. So if you're open to receive, that's awesome. But you don't have to be either. So you can still hang out with us and not have anything pushed onto you. But just keep in mind as well, it's like hanging out in the room with somebody it's got like a lot of cologne on, like you're still in the room and you can still smell them. So you're still going to feel energy, but we're not going to be like pushing on any kind of like, we're not going to be pumping codes into you or anything like that. The light is information in general, so you can feel it and tune into it, but we won't be pushing anything onto you, if that makes sense. Rubbing elbows. Awesome. So I'm just gonna thank you, W. Griffin. I appreciate that. Maniers taraki arkesanta tatakesya. Hi, Juliana. Tarakine feratiasa. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and list off the order in which I've received the bookings today. So if people are not here, we're still gonna go in the order. And of course, like I mentioned before, it will be posted on YouTube afterwards with timestamps, so you can go back and play it. I would also recommend, if you are here, to screen record anyway. So if you have a transmission, go ahead and like use your phone to record your screen, because you never know what happens. Or you know, when I post it, there's no comments. Sometimes it can be, I like to see the comments, you know, but they're not necessary, of course. Slaying my magic. Thanks, Moon. I enjoy these sessions while I'm in the shower. The water helps me tune in better. That's beautiful. Yeah, the shower is a magical place, especially when you use the water and like when you program the water. I was just speaking to a client this afternoon about that, using the water, programming the water as it comes out, and then allowing it to move through different parts of the body. So like programming the water to hold, like, let's say a diamond frequency, or just intend that it's a cleansing frequency that's moving through it, because water holds data, it holds information. So if you can actually program it to do that, and then use your imagination alongside it and feel it move through your body and down and cleanse out through yourself, and see any kind of like, see or know or perceive any like stagnant energy or any negative energy just go down the drain. All right, so I'm going to list off the order and we'll get started so we can get through it as quickly as we can. I don't choose how long the transmissions take. It's up to the energy. So I go and I go through the process, and I stop when it's not running through me anymore. So first up will be Jennifer. I'm not sure if Bash is here or not. And then next up will be Karen, which is Mimi Hawk. We'll have Martin after that, which is VMP God, or GD, I'm assuming. And then it'll be Corina, Seaford. And then it'll be Hayden, which is an Apple user. And then Vanessa, which is Vanessa's username. And then Allyson, which is a long string of numbers. So I hope people are here. If not, I will also send an email afterwards too, once the download is available from TikTok and I can post it on YouTube. I send an email out that lets people know that the transmission happened, just in case they're not here or whatever. Allyson, I got you. Wait, do I? No, I don't. Oh, is that you? Okay. You're Allyson. Okay. Yeah, I just saw a big number string. So, Martin, you changed your username? Okay. Well, as long as you know who you are. And you'll still have the recording afterwards too. Okay. Cool. So that's why I'm just using first names anyway. If you booked a slot, you know it's you. And we're working with those energies anyway, so it's not like I'm going to be pumping out the codes to somebody who has a different username. It's going to be entangled with you anyway, if that makes sense. I don't know why I gave you a bunch of numbers, but that's me. Okay, perfect. Cool. Allyson Calmer. Allyson. Yep, that is you. I can tell by the perfect. Okay. So did that make sense to everybody? Did all that stuff that I was articulating make sense? Oh, thank you, Destrega. But I'm going to be doing stuff that's for everybody as well. So there's lots of good energetic spillover. We're going to start off by establishing like a basic grid to help hold space for us. So establishing like a foundational, if you want to call it a shield or armor system. So a 12, what we would identify as like a diamond pillar. So a base 12 shield, and then build out a few more layers outside of that. And then we'll trigger a process that is going to assist with clearing overall. It's a healing all of itself, honestly. Like I could honestly just do just if I did that part, it could honestly be a service, because there's so much that's entailed with what moves through it. It usually lasts about a week. The healing goes on for about a week, and the clearing process is usually, about 24 to 48 hours or so. What did you just say in another language other than English? So think of it kind of like music language. It's not language like we would identify like English. It's more universal. So it's more speaking in frequency and energy. So it's a carrier for extra information. And we call it light language or light linguistics. So light is information, light is data. So when we're using this universal expression of information, this data exchange, it can carry, it's like a carrier. So the sounds, the phonetics of it are more like carriers for extra information. That would be considered more like multidimensional information. So it's like a tool. It's what it is. It's a technology. It sounds like languages. It might sound like some weird language. It can sound like sound effects and tones and all sorts of weird stuff. But it's the energy that's carried on the sounds that's actually what matters, or doesn't matter. It's non-matter. It's what quantums. All right, let's get rolling because I don't want to keep everybody all night. So first up is Jennifer. Not sure if Jennifer's here, but when I do the transmission, after I do the first parts, we're going to do that for everybody. And then after I do the first parts, I'm going to set the comments to subscriber only. It just helps control kind of like the energy of the room a little bit better, because obviously what I do is quite strange. And I get people who don't know what's going on and have, make some comments that can be distracting, and then people, just trolls too. So we just, especially when we're doing this stuff, we just want to kind of manage it a little bit. And if you would like to, show some love and have an energy exchange, subscribing is a great way to do that. And of course you don't need to do that. You can like tap the screen. That's an energy exchange, liking it because more people will see it. Commenting, giving feedback after you have an experience, say, oh, this is what I experienced, that's a form of an energetic exchange, because it doesn't just help me, it helps others as well. So anything that you do to give back in the energy is deeply appreciated, and it doesn't have to be gifts or likes or any of that stuff. So just keep that in mind as well. But the world, the universe runs on energy exchange. It's just the way that things work. The out breath, the in breath. Get the ufasa. Make sure you got some water nearby. I would recommend. I like coconut water. It's got some good electrolytes. Nice and natural, like natural sports drink, kind of. All right. The list is closed tonight. Oh no, Infinite You. Well, I'm glad that you found us again. All right. So we're going to go ahead and establish a grid, as there's 144 in here. That's beautiful, perfect timing. So we're going to create a base 12 shielding system. So this works with our organic silicate light body. So some people might identify that as like a crystic light body. People measure dimensions in different ways, but essentially we're talking about certain structures that hold certain forms for consciousness to have experience. It's like experiences of space-time through consciousness, if that makes any sense. So just putting that out there. Some people measure dimensions in other ways, like through emotional measurements, and there's plenty of different ways. So we're just talking about base 12. So so I'm going to talk through this process. If you're open to receive, then that's all you have to do is just be open to it. If you're not interested, we're not going to push it on you, so don't worry about that. But always use your own discernment regardless. So what we're going to do first is, depending on your template, so we're going to ask your higher consciousness to manifest either a two-dimensional six-pointed star, so like a Star David, of whatever frequency is best for your template. So it may be like a pale silver, maybe a platinum. It could be like an iridescent crystal star. Or for some people's templates, we may have two tetrahedrons, so like a three-dimensional triangle, that are of opposite polarities on each hemisphere of the brain. And if that is the case, we're going to move those together in the pineal gland. If it's a two-dimensional six-pointed star, we're also just going to manifest that in the pineal gland. And then we're going to ask, if it's a three-dimensional star, the star tetrahedron, we're going to ask it to spin at the appropriate spin rates and ratios for the individual and their templates, whatever templates they're holding. Things are more complicated than people often talk about, so this is why I'm doing this. And this is what happens naturally when I'm setting these intentions, but I'm speaking it aloud because I think we don't talk about these ideas enough. So we think it's one way or another, or it needs to be like this, or doesn't need to be, So just remember that we're all very different and dynamic, and the intention is really important. So we're going to take that structure, the star tetrahedron or the six-pointed star, And we're gonna move it gently down through the central column. So down from the pineal gland, and down through the throat, and it'll be cleansing as it moves down through the energy centers. So through the high heart, and the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, the root. It's gonna go between the legs, past the feet, and it's gonna stop about a foot below the feet. And at this point, it's gonna spin up faster and faster until it ejects a platform. And this platform will emit like a diamond platinum white light that rises up in a cylinder around us. So wide enough around, if we were to extend our arms, we wouldn't be able to touch the sides. And it's gonna rise up through and around our feet and legs, our hands and arms, our torso, our neck and head. It's gonna rise up about a meter above the head, or about 36 inches, just depending, everybody's a little bit different. And then we're gonna take that star from the bottom platform, and we're gonna move it right back up through our heart line. So right back up the way that it came. And it'll go through the root, and it's gonna activate the root, the energy center, as it moves through. The sacral as well, the solar plexus, the heart, the high heart, the throat, the third eye, the crown, and it's gonna go to the top of that cylinder of light where it'll stop, spin again, eject another platform, and it's gonna vacuum seal us into the cylinder of light. Then we're gonna connect with just pure consciousness. You can call it source, you can call it whatever you want, crystallic light. We're gonna activate this and bring it into that top platform, into that star. And that's gonna move that star quickly down and into the heart space, where it's gonna activate our diamond heart. And once this takes place, these beautiful aurora frequencies are also going to fill into the cylinder. So like these pastels, like iridescence, little sparkles of magic, are going to begin to fill up the structure as well. We're gonna also ask the orbs of aurora, so kind of like the elemental higher selves, to come in and help clean up any dead light or miasma. Just gonna feel our heart space here for a second. And then we're gonna expand our heart. So right in the center of our chest, maybe imagine a light, and we're gonna expand that, push that out. And then we're gonna place a truncated icosahedron geometry around that. So like a soccer ball shape with flat sides. Some people refer to it as a C60 shape, a buckyball, a fullerene. There's a lot of different names for it. A very powerful multidimensional geometry. And on the faces of that geometry, we're gonna place silver mirrors on the inside and outside. And then we're gonna expand this geometry so that it goes all the way around our aura. And 3, 2, 1. The out breath is electric, it's pushing out. So we push that out to the outer edges of our field, and then we're gonna gently rotate that clockwise. We're gonna do the same thing, your own signature heart frequency, expand that to fill our chest, place that same geometry around it, but this time it's gonna be like a chameleon chromium. So like all these like iridescent type high frequency reflective colors in it on the mirrors, and there'll be mirrors to the inside and outside. And then we expand it to go around that last geometry in 3, 2, 1. Lock that in, rotate it. And then we're gonna place a rainbow ray around that. So like a rainbow that goes all the way around your aura. And that's our little structure. So it's gonna help hold space for us, make sure we're working with the right type of codes here, and helps also hold space for after the transmissions. Now what we're gonna do is also trigger like an automated process that's gonna help with clearing. So the idea here is that it's gonna help clear out the meridians, it's gonna vortex stuff out we don't need, bring stuff in we do. It's unique each time we do it and for each person. So I just encourage you to tune in at this time, feel your body. For those that are clairvoyant, take a look. For those that are feelers, really feel whatever way that you tune in, or you can just relax and just observe in your own way. So I'm gonna place my left hand on the back of the head and my index finger and middle finger on the forehead, and we're just gonna trigger this. You may perceive some like rings coming down, some really powerful energies moving through. You may see some halo type stuff moving around certain parts of the body. Beautiful. And that's going to continue on. Sweet. So there we go. That is the first little part. And then we'll jump into the personalized transmissions. Mal really wants attention today. You're so cute, buddy. You want to say hi? Say hi to everybody. Say Mal, say hi. He wants to play, huh, buddy? He's so white. All right. Was here at 11.1 likes. I love it. Looking fresh. I'm exhausted today, so I'm glad that that's not coming through. I know that these apps, like, I'm sure I look way more haggard. You know, the apps, I think, change the way you look a little bit, like polish you up a little bit, but I'm just happy to be here. So thank you for that. All right, oops. So first up is going to be Jennifer. So Bash 1123. I'm not sure if you're here, Jennifer, but you're going to go ahead and be first. And if you miss it, that's okay. That doesn't mean that you don't receive, and the replay will be available on YouTube. So I'm going to talk through the first protocol in a little bit more detail than I will for those afterwards. So I'm going to talk through about kind of what I'm doing, and then I'm going to use that same process on each person, and I'll kind of go through it quicker just so we can get through with a little bit, faster time here. Thank you so much, Stacy. Oh, you're amazing. God, see, I need an adult, so thank you, Stacy, for being an adult. I appreciate you so much. So big props to my moderators. Oops, typo, looked tired. Send lots of likes, bro. I appreciate that, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna switch over the comments to subscriber only. That doesn't mean that the energies that we're expressing are not for everybody if they choose to receive. We're just going to help just kind of manage the energy of the room. So I would recommend when I do my thing, don't even worry about the chat, it's just distracting. Don't even worry about watching me. I would recommend to close your eyes and be present, because a lot of people will have visions and stuff. They'll see flashes of images, sometimes past lives, future lives. They'll see like traumas that they're processing and releasing. So really just tune into your own body. Don't worry about anything else. Do you, because that's where the magic is. I'm just stimulating things. So my role in this is just to stimulate, to be like kind of like some people would say, like a permission slip for you to have the experience that you've designed for yourself. So just keep that in mind as well. All right, so I'm going to set it over to subscriber only. If you want to share the love, subscribing is a great way to do that, but there's plenty of other ways to share energy. So, all right. So I'm just going to go ahead and reaffirm that no harm will be done in the session or following it. No energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It will be in alignment for the highest good of all only, and only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect with a platinum frequency that goes around Mother Earth's heart. So she's got 2 tetrahedrons that go around her heart space. We would call this a star tetrahedron or a Merkaba structure. So we're going to connect with the bottom tetrahedron, and we're going to connect to that platinum frequency. I'm going to bring it up through my roots, through my body, and up into my heart. And it's going to move through that space the entire transmission. I'm going to connect with Sirius and bring down like an electric pink. So that's like a masculine frequency. I got the magnetic from Mother Earth. I'm bringing down this electric frequency from the stars and into my heart space. Both of these are going to flow. I'm going to place a code in the back of Jennifer's heart and eject the magenta frequency from my heart and into her heart and into those codes. This is going to help with some like confidence, motivation, willpower type energies, and of course bring through healing. Be healing all of itself. I'm going to create a double of myself. He's going to place his hands on the front of the knees. And from his heart, he was going to release like clearing pyramids. So they're like these geometries of these little pyramids that spin around and help to transmute energy. So up to 8 of those may flow through. It just depends. They come in sets of 2. And then we are going to plug in a little package of healing frequencies. So there's more than 16 healing frequencies, and this little energetic thumb drive that I got, that I place a code on it. It's like a shortcut code. We plug that into the crown, into the recipient, and we're going to ask that to run for at least the next hour. And we'll ask the higher consciousness to extend that if it's necessary. And then we're going to do a big figure 8 through the system, so like a big infinity. This will help accelerate healing and helps with the integration. We're going to ask that to run for an hour. And we're going to use a little shortcut code here. I'm going to place this between the root and the sacral. It's going to work with the transmission centers and kind of a bit of a cleanse of through the column of light, all the way up to the alpha transmission center, all the way down to the omega. And then we're going to take out a sphere here. I'm going to place a code within it. And we're going to gift this in the heart of the recipient. And when I do this, it's either going to go towards whatever healing intention you would like. Otherwise, it's going to go what's needed most for your highest good at this time. So it's like kind of like an automated healing using Lemurian healing frequencies. And then we rock and roll. So I'm just going to channel. I may be quiet. I may be making all sorts of sounds. It's really up to the energies and what needs to come through. So just feel your body if you're open to receive. Only for the highest good, of course. Use your own discernment. Mutafiari Tarian Kutuku Ama Tafu, Feferhantu Che H at Asi Hamti at Yeriku, Kimura Hati Rentandana Tatatauf, Tatauf, Fefaharana, the Muri te Epidemante Fesatu, Chepahafasanto, Ematari Kechi. So just as a reminder as well, what can come through can be healing, activations, upgrades, it can be any combination of that. There's always going to be healing, but it's going to be whatever the higher consciousness has essentially delegated for this experience. So I get to just cheat and just go along for the ride. It's not Ty going, oh, I don't think you should have this. Oh, I think you should have this. I don't know Jack, so. Timoha ali ka ukefe via fa nadet asini tu di apu hafafa di narute ekure kefe de moni tino asurute para kare kukuin amamarata ti pri uefi na hufia tu mefia ti ne he nu ufia namafa ti kai okush acha anisine kete yokuli ke para hata ta hufia tu achima ta ti ta Keep okay, Cocoye Mahatut Ati. Keep on Toran Nuxasia Seurasia go alla road afahari to imurte biberaki. Lacun se mahasirato. Ci wrote to Raferate de Behe se ocean notati for Sofrastin and Kutimadas. Chedo to Atata Cheheta Fata in Pontumans and Sarayaro. Shuharo Tau. Shatuke Maharakanakate Esse Akayoku. Shaurita de Kesere. Focusing here a little bit on the throat, the neck. And I apologize if I start to burp a lot or yawn. It's a way that I help to release energy. So if you're burping and yawning on your end, that's also common. If this is new to you. What's common about any of this, right? I guess maybe normal and common are a little different. Ow! Nice little shock to the gallbladder. Didn't quite feel like a liver. We've been working a lot here with the throat, the neck and the throat, like the expression center, and also with the soul star too. So it could be that you're bringing in through more of self to express, ready to express more of your higher consciousness. I don't know if you already do express light languages or this kind of idea, but that may be something that may be coming through soon, if not. Still mostly working with the throat though, and then, you know, that, not so much the high heart. Oftentimes the high heart's involved. Jadi ông cái mà cái cô Confirm. All right, and then we'll do a grounding code here to help ground into what might be perceived as a higher density. All right, there we go, 144. We started with 144, and now we got 144 again. I'm gonna set the chat back to everybody. Vanessa, I saw your comment. Vanessa, you're up. You're towards the end actually, so you got some time still. So we just did Jennifer, then it'll be Karen, then it'll be Martin, Corina, Hayden, and then it's you, Vanessa. Hi, Cindy. How are you feeling today? Good to see you again. How'd that find you? Even those that were, you know, it wasn't specifically encoded for. How did that feel? Would love to hear any kind of feedback as well. Thank you, Quantum Heart Space Healing. I'll reflect it right back to you. Let's see about switching my fan. It's like I feel like I don't even feel it. I'll do it. Head felt tingly, made me cry all beautiful. I know that doesn't sound like too much fun, but hey Mark, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Oops. Okay, that's much better. I'm feeling it now. Oh, I love you too, Anne. If you're talking to me. Yawning and bubbles through torso. Awesome. Mindset doc. My dog had a bad seizure today. Could this help him? He's only 3. It's possible. It could help. I mean, it can help. But with something like that, we want to go towards whatever the core issue is that's creating it, and it can be kind of hard to tell that. You know, I would definitely seek a vet for their opinion. You know, a medical perspective. But there's stuff that I can do for sure to assist at an energetic level, of course. But yeah, it can't hurt. You know, if you know, set the intentions, be the conduit for it. So if I do another transmission, what I would recommend to do is open up your heart. September Wolf music, open up your heart consciously so you can just see like a big light coming out from the center of your chest using your imagination. If you can feel it, that's even better. But then as I do my stuff, you can imagine light from your heart going into the heart of your puppy, or you can have your hands on the puppy and just hold it. But the intention of having yourself and your heart energy being the conduit between these extra light codes and this extra energy moving through. Oh, thank you, girl with the most cake. Hey, Kim, good to see you. So happy to see you here. I'm feeling okay. I'm a little tired. I've been a little tired the last few days. I don't know if it's the full moon stuff or what. I don't know. I just feel kind of I've been a little more pooped lately, but not bad. You know, not bad. I can't complain. So I'm happy. I could always be worse. But yeah, it feels good to do more work too, because it energizes me. That's the thing, is like when I do the energy work, I get all jacked up from it. But then what can happen if I'm not like like, you know, because we all go through the ebbs and flows. And if I'm like, if I'm on a bottom, you know, at the bottom of a hill, and I do some transmissions, I go up real high, but then I crash real fast, and then I'm like, bah, afterwards. So we'll see how I feel. Yeah, there's lots of acclimating. We're always acclimating for stuff. Comedy hangover, that's right. All right, so I think we're good to go. Karen is up next. That's Mimi Hawk. So when I switch it over, I'm going to be switching over the chat to subscriber only. So if you're interested in asking any questions or continuing conversation while I'm doing the transmission, subscribing to the live is the way to do that. It just helps manage the room a bit better. There's some extra goodies too as a subscriber. And it shows, you know, it's an energy exchange if you're interested in that. But there's plenty of ways to do that. So I'm going to switch that over. Everybody's open to receive if it's an alignment for their highest good, and they're open to receive it. So just keep that in mind too. Booyah. All right, Karen, here we go. So I'm just going to go through that first part a little quicker than I did with the first person, but it's the same basic protocol. Just going to reaffirm no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It will be in alignment for the highest good of all only, and only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. I'm just going to reaffirm that connection to Mother Earth, reaffirm the connection to Sirius, that it will both flow for the whole session, the transmission, placing the code in the heart, blasting the back of the heart with my heart frequency and into this code. It's going to bring in those confidence, willpower energies, and healing. We're going to release those clearing pyramids into the knees, well, through the knees and into the body for 6 minutes. That's how long they'll be doing that. We're going to plug in those healing frequencies into the crown. That's going to run for at least an hour. We're going to do big infinity. I like to run it 12 times and then set a timer on it so that it keeps it flowing. It helps with integration and helps accelerate healing. I'm going to work with the transmission centers, kind of firing things up for you. And then we'll give you that kind of like an automated healing towards whatever intention you like. Otherwise, it's just going to go where it's needed most. Place that in the heart. And then we rock and roll. Just feel your body. See, your friends showing up. I see you. Hello. Para mudana hana are haru efere ti ucha asteta inkoni maku ori faransan dekwe kimon hatari te harta ka sefe ke du kumbara pepe ere te mahanara te ma yemo hawa anda he kwahena iwe ekwahna na ireke ukfaka kai faha anata ku ifaka ke ma fa yaku ke faka kimoro to afia kan ko ka asia likuchi sa chanuka e ka ke ko ye ko ango kuko uwa kape kuka kuko e kanan kai kuko yena ke fa wa ma fe wa na to us ke e sa na da ta ku na ta ke aki era ka re ko loma ru e wa fa har ke fa ya yo ku tong ke ma ke pa wa ku to ke ma je te mo ta re ke te mahatafa na te moeni kafu ka. Ta pa fareni no to kono mai. Te pa fa e chango na se. Urto fa faro nanta na ta tutte wata ta ti tu ka ku le de pare te lut hata tine de kasat hat ki pepe at ichi wetu af. Kimro to para fiar de monkus. Che lut au vi fara di mundira aria ya. Le crocanta kai bef. Pepe fiata tia musa sharantia. Jiritu ambarakan yo kanongai. Tu che festa nas tu che festa. Shibutui tanana tunina tinono timaha e upa lokan nanenu kananani toy. Shiru aferese te asidu katapa harde te rasino kutafasi pro che per kamani toy. Shiru e feresambul tapata tu tata tiu tata ti pro che unde baraka ku kumba. Timo tapapa ta hump afe. Kus ufia shasha sintim fa ansim matuni manata sibaraki muruk te parakina kiuri wara ne manata fata baraka te baraka ne divora vira kan rekto sabaraki ne kuti baraki muruk te tavada kan rekto baraka sa shuti shasha tar menchu de papra pequeno peku we har de sarpe nana katu sabarasi baraka te asidi kuti maratu te farta kimati kimati baraka kasana te timratu kibaratu sabaraka baraka partner maraka te verta pinga Dekat rumah pelajari fudi mampati para fasa, usia para kita seperti itu poti. Coba tu cara dia rasa para tinggal di porti para di mana kita pokok kita kerja seperti itu seperti kita coba kita terus apa aja yang kita hiasi lagi kita juga kita seperti yang kita harus umur seperti teman kita ada faham lagi terus kita seperti itu terus kita pergi kita terus seperti kata hari kajian nasa di asro taruh para di urkan hambal kurkando tervel buran dari suran yang lui Lawelu le maulu kalu yatta unga ele manin taw. Lelu le moya la elu eko ya le maya ko ego. Leo nefo hatuka. Ta uye shahama kuku re tu di mura tu papara. Peru ti pi we shafara te mortara kuke. Pia fasat kong pe pukau kami pukau kami mau ke imu paparo hatu fare nanon ta efesat Dios ne para nanon tu yaro ik hari ne namo haro ya kana no ta pa ekur ma Itu what big peruta bambun. Akkalya mani. Turun namar dapat urutnya. Itu yang enggak nama berdekat. Sudah verta sarat ya turun sarat ya nomara. Lihat nu satur ya tarik karya tordia. Berarti rundar jamar taru. Terang arna tu sarta dari kita kaca. Wah, tu mare tu fa. Asno kata. Te berarti aku te via tu tak bocor. Te dia tu kerendar tatura. Papa ya rundar. Cepat tu te pratatia. Cepat tu kuka ma. Dia utar kok kayak muka kayak mak. E pur che per avuto pepe tutta fa sul manto fa ci per fa che fa per fa ripa per fa ci para fa fiero te per fa ero da fa te per fa ci per tu fa le cose per te C'è tutti per farsi per tutti che te fassi che per scegliere di portare che fare che ti grandi di che faccio tutti per così per che ti per che la hatar che perché tu mi che porti per che ne posso per il cercano che porta la hatar che ne resta ti ne che per così per così ci per tutti portano che ti porto che ta casu ya frata in ucci mi che per che mi che te faccio che mi che te pavara che ti fare che te pensa che tu ti per che frata che mi che che marta poi da con te per con che te per che ti mi che per che mi che ne parte per che non che ta fare che che di portare che si musi parte putar per do bene con sa harti per sapere che ti porto con che ti ho da canana che te fa si sul cimro che sa farti non ti per sono che rota che lui sembra che ti parti che facci che ti va a fare che poi si parte che non ho giocato così per che non corre per in concert di massa che per sapere che ti posso fare che non sa che cui ne marca che non si parla in concert che ti che poco ci tutta ti uscimo tu ti avrà fatti par uka kanta kai kura ta ti frase per che ne che porta per che ne pusha per che per che ne che per fare tu che porta per che ti non così ush ti frase ma che te così per che libro che problema tu che non c'è una pato rimane fatti porti che non che te pensa sura che porta claro We're good. Confirm. Confirm. Move on. All right, we're gonna do the grounding code here. I just need to use it on myself here. I'm gonna do it on myself real quick too. All right. Let me know how that found you. Dude, wow, that one got me a little dizzy. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Yeah, how are you feeling, Mimi? Wow. Isn't it interesting how different the different transmissions come through, right? I find that so interesting. Sometimes there will be like no vocalizations sometimes for people. And then there'll be other people where there's like incredible sounds that there's dialects that'll come through for people that I've never expressed. And I've expressed like countless dialects. So sometimes a new one pops through and it's just kind of the flavor that person resonates, or their energy resonates with in some way. Eyes twitched and body quivers. Yeah, be gentle with yourself over the next few days. Make sure you drink lots of water. That's going to help a lot. If you can get some nature, that's going to be super helpful. Like grounding, if you can put your feet in like grass or like in sand, if you can walk in salt water or something, that's like thebomb.com. But I know not everybody lives in a place where that's available. But even just walking through like some trees and stuff, like the actual leaves, the aura, the energy field of the trees literally pull off a lot of the stuff that we would have to process otherwise. Or you can use, breath work is really powerful as well, but really you want it to help ground. That's going to assist the most. Authentic energy. We're doing right now, we're doing personalized transmissions for people that had already booked ahead of time. I'll do more, so you can find upcoming ones in the link in my bio, or if the link doesn't work for some reason, for my link tree doesn't work for some people, ty-el.com will send you there. But there's energetic spillover for everybody. So it's for everybody that's open to receive. So even though it's like encoded specifically for one person, it's like writing a song that the lyrics resonate with them. They get the lyrics are specific for them. The music is their vibe. They really vibe with it. I don't know the words. But that doesn't mean that other people don't vibe with the music as well, right? They can dance to the music. They can have an emotional response to it or resonate with the lyrics, that kind of idea. Was that a new dialect? I think there was one that came through that was a new one. I think the fa-fa one. Oh, thank you, Jenny. The fa-fa-fa. Yeah, I don't think I've done that one before. The fa-fa-fa-fa. And there's one that kept sounding like there's almost like they're dropping the F-bomb, and that kind of cracked me up. Sometimes those, like, I'll straight up, like, the light language will be like swear words sometimes. And I'm a toddler, so it cracks me up. I'm like, really? You're going to make me say it? Like, I got to say that a bunch of times? Like, it's funny because sometimes some other people's light language has like, it sounds like swear words, but some of them are crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of times I don't do a lot of dialects that want to come through just because, I don't know, my ego gets in the way. Like if I was on plant medicine, you wouldn't believe all the different sounds that comes out of my mouth, like, which is so crazy, which I wish I could do. I mean, maybe I'll do that, like do like a heads up, like, I'm gonna go in on some medicine, and if anybody wants to hang out, that's cool, but just know ahead of time that I'm gonna be slinging magic from many other dimensions pretty intensely. Plant med live, yeah, I would love that. I mean, if people are open to that, I'm down. I mean, doesn't even have to be, not even like, like mushies or anything like that. It could even just be like, there's plenty of blue lotus, mugwort, the green one that everybody knows about. They all can definitely enhance the channeling. Better put that ego in the corner and tell him to sit down. Yeah, I know, he's just trying to protect me. The ego's just trying to protect me. It's scared. It's like, I don't know, if you do a weirder one, maybe that'll be it. It's going to be the one that breaks you. It's crazy how when I'm on plant medicines, I feel your energy more. Yeah, releasing inner hippie. it's technology. So my higher aspects, like, they design that stuff. Like part of what my higher selves in some aspects do is essentially create the structures and the formulas for certain plant medicines and different energetic tools. So for my higher consciousness, they're all just technologies. They just happen to be biological technologies. So we can modify them and change them. You can work with them at an energetic level, at a spiritual level, like speak to the spirit of the substances, just because they have consciousness in their own way too. So there's tons of ways to work with these different tools. They're tools. But that's the thing, is a lot of times people will abuse them in certain ways, or just forget that they're there to be used with functionality, right? You can consider that like sacred practices, but just having the awareness of what they are and respecting them in that way can just really enhance them as tools. So we know this, a lot of us here in the woo-woo communities, we know how powerful these tools are. And I think in general, most people do too. It's just they don't use them with intention, right? They usually use them to run away from things instead of using it to run into things. So that's a major difference. Like, we're not using these tools to not feel. We're using these tools to feel more. And for some people, that's not pleasurable. But if you lean into it, that's where the magic's at. If you lean into whatever the functionalities are. Yeah, respect. Yeah, absolutely. Respect yourself and respect them, like just intention, It's, there's no rules, just knowing cause and effect. All right. Yeah, that's the thing, is like once you get more and more sensitive too, like sometimes, like I will think, with the green one that everybody, the reefers, like I forget at times how sensitive I am. So like I will partake thinking like, oh, hey, Blue Bodie, Corina, yeah, it's good to see you, sis. How are you feeling? But like I'll be like, oh yeah, everybody uses like, the reefer to chill out and like be a couch potato, right? Like, and just be a human. And then I forget that like I don't react to it in that way. So I'm like thinking I would just be like zombied out and on the couch, but instead it puts me straight into channeling. So I'm like, oh crap. It's like, I'm like, oh man, I forget that I'm not like that anymore. I forget all sorts of stuff. Oh, thank you, Blue Bodie. Y'all, if y'all don't follow the Blue Bodie, she's amazing. Just an amazing human being, and she's got a great channel. Oh, thank you, Stace. She's got a great channel, and she does healings on it. She's on, offering all of her expertise, and she sells awesome products. So I would definitely give her a look-see, because she's family. So we're here to support each other. Oh, thank you. Thank y'all. Thank you for all the gifts. We got the goal. That was beautiful. So if I got juice at the end, I will do a transmission for everybody, just to show my appreciation for meeting the energy exchange goal. So thank y'all so much. I'll try to get through it. I'm still a little buzzed up from that last one. That one got me a little. If you can't tell, like I drank a pot of coffee. Yes. Yep. First week of May. Chad. I don't know if you prefer Chad or Michael. Don Andrews. So we call it light language, or light linguistics. It's a universal expression of information, really. So it's not like English it doesn't function like language like English would. So it's more processed, more meant to be felt. So it's best like as a metaphor to like music. So think of it more like music than in like English, where like music, it's universal, right? We know how a song feels to us, like the music, the vibe of the song, we get it. We can feel it. And even if it had lyrics, people are going to interpret those lyrics differently between each other. So it's similar in that way. So it's meant to be taken through the filters of the ego structure and be used in a really multidimensional way. So it's a very powerful tool. It's a bit like a technology. So it's like a non-structured language that affects energetic structure. But I also use my body to express it as well. So it can be expressed vocalizing. So like it sounds like languages, it can sound like weird sound effects, all sorts of noises and clicks and all sorts of stuff. But also the movement of my body, essentially like changing the subtle frequencies that move through my body, like playing my energy field like an instrument. So sometimes I'll be over different energy centers and playing with these different frequency filters, right? Like the heart chakra, the high heart, the throat, essentially tuning subtle frequencies to change the music, the song that's being expressed. And we use it for the idea of like healing, of course. The idea of activations, which this stuff gets activated. So it's not something I learned to do. It got triggered. It's something that is part of who I am. But I also activate that in other people who are ready for that. And that's part of who they are. And then upgrades as well. So if you're already like got some of your psychic gifts turned on, or, you know, those type of ideas, you can always upgrade them more. So like your clairsentience, your clear feeling can get stronger. If you're clairvoyant, you can see more detail, you can see more in 3 dimensions, you can see more with your physical eyes. There's just endless possibilities. Oh, yeah, it's my pleasure, Dawn. Thanks for asking. I like questions because that's where it's at. All right. Lucia Rose, what was the last one saying? I'm honestly, I don't remember. Is probably expressing appreciation. I feel like that's probably what I was talking about. I don't remember what I was talking, or like when I said it, but when we met the goal, that's when I remember speaking it. Sometimes I don't even recognize that I'm expressing it because it's kind of like speaking with your arm. Like you know how people talk with their hands? That's exchanging extra information, right? When they talk with their hands. I don't do a good Trump impression. I was going to try to do a Trump impression. But that's an exchange of more information. So it's just a way of expressing extra information. So I'll do it all the time without realizing it, like at a checkout stand and stuff like that. Hey, Helen. Hi, good to see you. So Tree says, some who channel light language feel great while others blow out my solar plexus. Why is that? So it can vary. So not all information is relevant for everybody. So even with my work and how I am aware of how things work, and I program things and I encrypt things in a certain way, it's still not for everybody. So I always encourage people to use their own discernment, because light language is information. It's an exchange, it's a transmission, and not everybody is aware of what they're pulling through at times. Not everybody has the same codes. Not everybody is in resonance with each other. That's not a judgment. It's just sometimes it's not aligned, and that's okay. So just trust your feelers. Maybe it's not right for you at this time. Maybe down the line that person might resonate with you more. So yeah, I would just trust yourself. You know, there's no real rules either. You know, trust yourself is where it's all about. Like discernment isn't like whether or not something is right or wrong, right? Because that's a personal perspective. But discernment's really, to me, is about whether or not something is right or wrong for you in that now moment. Because that's what's going to guide you in an authentic direction to learn more about yourself. Because we're supposed to mess up. We're supposed to go through things that we, don't quite understand. We're supposed to make mistakes so we can truly authentically learn. It's not about beating the game. It's not about being, I'm ascended. No, it's about figuring yourself out and remembering who you are from your own perspective, authentically. It's just about being authentic is my perspective. Tina, it's been so long. Lucia asked, do you understand what the sounds and movements mean when they come through? This is so intriguing. Sometimes it's not really relevant. Sometimes if I'm doing a transmission like I'm about to do, sometimes I'm working on my body, so I might be like weaving light. So sometimes I mirror on my body what I'm working on the other person. So sometimes like if I'm working on somebody's throat, you'll see me going like this. And sometimes I'm like weaving light. So I'm like helping to release stuff that doesn't need to be there. And then like kind of like crocheting light to kind of like hold structure so that it can heal itself, or it can support whatever those new structures are for that individual, if that makes sense. All right, so Martin's up next. Are you here, Martin? Shannon's in the house. Look at this. It's a party. Long time no see, Shannon. I got all my favorites in here. I mean, you're all my favorites, but I got so many beautiful beings. All right, Martin. So I'm going to switch it over to subscriber only chat. I can answer that after Yoga Mom. But while I do my transmission, I'm going to set it over to subscriber only. I'm sorry. I think I can gift out some stuff because I want to gift. I don't want to cut you off, Tina. Let's see. I'm just so happy to see you here. I'm like, no, I don't want to just cut off the chat. And Shannon too. Thank you. Like, I don't know how to do that. I'll give it afterwards. I'll figure that out later. I'll give it to you later. What do you get as subscribers? So for the most part, it's, well, I think one of the best parts of being a subscriber is that on certain nights, like on Friday nights, I go live and I will write out a bunch of different intentions. So I do a circle like this, and then I ask subscribers for specific intentions that they want to bring through. So it can be like a certain area of healing. Be like, I've got, fibromyalgia or something, and we can put that on there. Or I got a bum knee, we want to work on a knee. Or I want a heart upgrade. Or I want, to release fear. And then I use a pendulum, and I let the pendulum pick which ones, and we go through a number of them that way. I can usually see people's comments better too. So when people ask questions, it's easier for me to see those that are subscribers. And for the most part, it's a great way to exchange energy too. So if you find what I'm doing valuable to you, if you just want to share some love, then that's a great way to do it. But you can do it in other ways too. And also when I switch over to subscriber only, you can ask questions when I'm doing my stuff. So when I'm doing my transmissions, we keep it like that. It's just better to help manage the energy of the room, and I get trolls and all sorts of stuff. So it's just helpful all around. Hope that makes sense. And it is a way to support, but you can do that also in a number of other ways too. Just by liking the video or commenting, your feedback and experience, whether it's good or bad. All feedback is valuable data to me. All right, so I'm gonna switch it over to subscriber only. I love y'all. I'm sorry to cut off the conversations, but if you want to keep going, that's the way to do it. And you can ask questions too. Even though I'm doing my thing, my moderators and others have heard me use the same spiels so many times. I'm sorry that I'll come up with new ways to describe things, but I don't know, they work. But they can usually help out with a lot of questions too. All right, Martin's up. All right, we're just going to reaffirm no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It will be in alignment for the highest good of all only, and only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. Bring it through healing, activations, upgrades, any combination as delegated by the highest self, for the highest good of Martin, and the highest good of all only. So we're going to reaffirm the connection to Mother Earth, Sirius, place the code in the heart, check the frequency from my heart into the code. Those are going to continue to flow. I'm going to release the pyramids for 6 minutes, plug in the healing pack, the healing frequency pack. Run that for an hour, big infinity. Run that for an hour. Work with the energy centers or the transmission centers. And then we'll gift you that healing code that you can guide towards a certain intention if you'd like. And then we rock and roll. Here we go. Just feel your body. Mahafuka tarithia ransur kuhaum partu firata. Tu ure mantore niereka ui de puena na kotokawa. Kita nando tu evre muni maruta Giuro di morte para che ne sarto morte para che frega di non ti possa fare che sapere che mucho per però hundar che sapere di porunghe ne cotetas e fasta recando half of rafi frando ma tu urcuma maratia ci vuole tu farà setting recan che superazzi per la per te cafferia nota la creatura in tanan teru taron donum ran naratere curi to cuire taburan barandore shanun terandare nuru hari koru Torsuva Franza Rake Quashare Nanocotarita Perafasiru. Terurun Tartatsatsariti Terrentataine. Serie do Imbornati Ru. Terutari Muricanacase, Shad Ushifayam Putamama Patata Witty Perfatinguru Ambara. Gede Utukukui, Chikukukui, Maruta Pakui, Kukui, Makuite. Cukukukukuku, timukukukukuku, cemaruta romantandur, moratambur. Che bukan kukukuku moto dia berkata kata kita paratin kita bersih paratin kita tak dia tadi urut dan bukti urut ya paratin ni urut na. Jadi urut kan kita paratin kita berkata kata kita paratin bukti urut urut apa kita paratin urut ya paratin bukti kita paratin bukti urut paratin kita paratin bukti urut kita kita sedih kan sedih. Jika kita marah kita paratin bukti urut paratin kita bukti paratin kata tadi itu frase paratin urut monte paratin kita kusafri. Urut mungkin paratin pagi urut nanti paratin kita dia fashuet dia tadi kita percute riuta. Percute ungan beraparan kita frase ini هاتسي لكن جم وحفرة بقى كنا كل مرة تبارين كنت شيء أفغاري يمر بري مرتو بنا دوت بات بحاجة وري فسام مرتو بري بري كل شيء أنتي فرا فسام كنتي برا تفاجئ بتشوف وكا كوها كوها ما كنت هكاي أنا كاسايش عادية تاورتو Warren. Every time they say torta, I'm like, I'm hungry. That's where I'm just a passenger sometimes when this stuff's coming through. People are like, what's it like on your end? What do you see? I'm like, tortas, tacos. Tarim para tatatia para te kunera te para kostuhar te mara ki fasite de keta te murta para te connecte para te para te muti para te kuti para keta chiki burdo para te para mora ma para para ka te para te un para te murta para te te praxis para que entiar di ara keta te para te kuti para kuti re burdo para ku safra te ngate para ku safra te para te tu para te para te kuti para shunni tu muti para stare dar te para tu ci vedi vone per te para te kuti para te para te kuti ku safra che mo shove de kuti para che te me para che para su tu fi rambo Fambu da moro ta fi sari ambuti che kuti per ko ta sarri te nu che ne mara ka se fi ka chaya ko na ko to ande ne ka sari te ra che te fi tu ti per ta passare tu aria wa hara na hara ta hari no ko ha shi ar ko kai crack in ha cara hara che ne se kra su frasce te bordo pa che un gore bordo per ta passare che ko ti per mi ko te passi che tu fa che mi tu fa haro con ku che ne va ka per te bre au pari euro mar na ko sari she frasero pare under to parte me che se vede che na ko sar shatar ko tu ku era ta pa Namani Padlia come Bartan Seraturnian Tarawatuaha, the Ter Namburshanari Toji, the Rosonian Tarkana Socha Pass, Talia Taito, or in Same Kari, Nakiro Kikre, Kisar Charti Mambure, the priest of that fear of high, two the Bara, the Bonumbaret of Fa to Pefia, to Krokaur, Borutaran Fieratia, to Chariata, Bartoran Rasao. Tarrandore fiaratia fiarato, patiatura fiata mora, partubara nella lua, taritura che pa suco qua, che mara tu e te pa 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 pe 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 perché non te parla perché vuol dire che non canto jango da we avrà la cosa anche io dai sotto fare nai corre da paro taro nai lo sa Teri linda dora, pari loria, taro, pero larita, andare ta firakari, yema wara ta, pauro naro tauro, pangu karu, dimilato, shai, dilo wa, uye wa, niga wi, We're good. Confirm. Confirm. Move on. All right. And then grounding code. All right, gangsters. Let me know how you're feeling. Drink some water if you got it. Enjoy me my coconut water. And that stuff gets me so like, I don't know how else to say it, buzzed up. I coughed a lot and it wasn't for me. Yeah, that's very common, Goddess Mimi. That's why we do it in this way, is because it can definitely assist a number of people. Feeling nice. Good, Martin. Oh, of course. I didn't even notice your name had air dragons in it. I was like, the dragons magic wanted to come through strong, like the magical dialects. Hey, Ray, too. Karanyarua. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I forgot that your name was different. A little lightheaded. Yeah, I can imagine. You can ground. Some grounding in. Oh, thank you, Jessica Sparks. I'm happy to be here. What's that screensaver? It's just a video that I put on loop. I got a whole bunch of videos on loop. Or I got a whole bunch. Switch it up. A little bit different frequency. Wow, I feel amazing. Even my 3-year-old was loving it. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Moon Goddess. Thank you, Shannon. Found my higher self. Awesome, Martin. That's what I want to hear. Higher self integration. That's what it's about. How did you know you were meant to be a space wizard? It's just part of who I am, man. It's just a label. Thank you, Shannon. It's just a label, Josh. It's not, I don't identify as a space wizard any more than I do as a human or anything else. It's just fun words, So a lot of times we take ourselves far too seriously too when we do this type of work. And I understand why, but yeah, I think it's just a fun. I work a lot with cosmic bodies. Like if you were to kind of know my higher self, I work a lot with energetic structures, and those energetic structures express themselves in a micro and macro level too. So at the through the cosmos, so just as they do when I'm doing this stuff, it's the same ideas. It's just blown up in some ways. I am Trixie says, are you showing me subscribed? I made a payment, but it's not showing me that I'm subscribed. No, yeah, I don't see it. And unfortunately, I don't, I don't have any control over that too. That would be through TikTok. So I would look at, I don't know. I don't think I've done a subscription before, but you should have some kind of buttons down there. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I wish I had. I just come on here and do my weird stuff. I don't look too much into the TikTok stuff. Oh, but it's cool. TikTok actually gave me some access to some new stuff. So I can actually create video series, which is what I wanted to do anyway, which I was doing for my website. But if it's really easy to access on TikTok too, that makes me happy. So like, I'm going to make videos that go through each of the different energy centers. So like the different like particle chakras, if you want to refer to them as that way. And then also the antiparticle chakras, and go through clearing, balancing, lining, upgrading for those. So like focusing on each one. So you can buy the video series if you want, and go through those. And I thought it was a pretty cool feature that they're giving me access to. I haven't seen anybody else do it yet. So I'm excited to try it out. I ain't worried about it going away. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I think if it does go away, people are going to freak out, and there's going to be revolution in some way or another. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to break things up. I think it's time. I think when we feel safe, nothing changes, So if it's uncomfortable, let's push it, if there's a fear there that we're afraid of losing it, let's lean into it, right? Because there's upgrades on the other side. We ride at dawn. That's right, Shannon. All right, up next is going to be Corina. It's Corina in his house. And then after Corina, it's going to be Hayden, Vanessa, and Allyson. So just as a reminder, if for whatever reason you're not here, the replay will be posted on YouTube as soon as I have it available and it's uploaded. So sometimes it takes like a day before I can download the live, but it's usually okay by the morning. So I'll do that first thing in the morning. Sweeter After Difficulty says use a VPN to access it if it gets shut down in the US. Yeah, not except for they can put, so it's not really about TikTok. It's not about TikTok. It's really about controlling and censoring all activities on the internet. So it's not, if you look in the bill, it has nothing it doesn't actually even mention TikTok, none of that stuff. It's really just a way for them to manipulate our interactions and whatnot. And part of it is if you get caught using a VPN, and that way you can go to 20 years in prison or $1 million or a couple million. I don't remember what the fee is, but they like made it so it's like, yeah, don't even try to mess around because they threaten you with fear, So just keep that in mind as well. And the idea though too isn't whether or not we can get around it. It's about being able to interact with each other freely. It's really about not everybody's going to use a VPN, and you really want the beauty of an app like this is its reach. You can connect with people of all belief systems. Like, I don't want to be on just a platform where everybody agrees with me. There's a lot of like spiritual apps that are going to come out that are very similar, like TikTok, but you're just reaching the same type of people all the time, right? Like, what I love about TikTok is that anybody can happen to scroll across my live and be like, what the hell is this guy? You insane? What is he doing? Like, what is it? It's like it's kind of reminds me of like the freak shows, like you can go through TikTok lives and see all sorts of stuff, and you never know what's going to resonate. You might find something new, and that's the magic, right? Like, you had an experience. Like, I've had people have not been, thank you so much for subscribing. I'm Trixie. I've had people that don't have any idea about any of this stuff and just happen to see me on their For You page and have profound experiences where they've got completely healed of something, or, got completely activated and changed their lives, and all it takes is, all we need is one person for that to be worth it, right? And sometimes on these lives, like, I'll go on a live and there'll be like 15,000 people, that come through a live. That's a lot to reach, And the way that this stuff works, if the higher conscious, there's no such thing as coincidence. So if the higher consciousness is really wanting to move their human through and receive some codes, people are going to just be curious about it, and they're going to receive if they're open to receive. And that's going to happen in a natural way that plays out for them. It goes into the subconscious and unconscious programs, and it'll play out in their reality when it's right for them. So, but I'm not worried about nothing. I ain't worried about it. I say, let's bring on the change, no matter what it is. Things are about to get shook up pretty good. All the structures of control are going to be falling away. There's stuff like all the payment portals and stuff are going to get there's going to be a lot of drama around that. So things like PayPal and Venmo and Cash App, those are trying to get replaced by a federal system called FedNow. and there's a lot of control in that, so they can program it to pretty much, so anything that you do is all goes through these algorithms, and they pump through and they control your money. They can control what you don't have access to at certain times. So lots of things to be like, hey, this isn't cool. It's really a great time to command our sovereignty back, to know our authentic rights. And that's going to be how we truly change the world, because we have there's divine law. Even the legal systems are built around law, and law is something that's inherent to who we are as incarnated beings. And we give away those rights without realizing it through consent, like born into these systems. And then if we play their game, then that's where we get screwed. So, but we have to know our rights. And once we command those rights back and we know what those rights are, then they can't mess with us anymore. But nobody really knows those. Like, it's, so actually, if you're interested, a great program that I'm going to be talking about more and more, and that I'm going to be doing for myself, is called sovereigntycodex.com. And it's my brother Ryan and his lady, they don't own him, that doesn't sound right, his beloved. And then they're connecting with some other groups that are really focused on the law aspect. And they're merging that together. So the spiritual side of it with the legal law type aspects of it. So it's like the perfect combination. So sovereigntycodex.com. The link's in my bio too, but I would highly recommend just to look into it. If you go sign up to the email, there's a free Q&A, and then you can also get like the first module, I think, for free too. So it's just worth checking it out. Just definitely worth checking out. And this goes beyond like some of the the straw man ideas and sovereign citizen stuff. This is really about our divine rights. All right. All right, Corina. So I'm going to switch. I'm going to change my background quick. Hope it doesn't break. Of course, stuff breaks. Breaking the system. Hey, Andrew. Thank you, brother. Oh, there we go. There we go. Boom. Rena turtar. Oh, awesome, Rachel. Well, welcome. Yes, it speaks universally. That's what's a trip for people, is that people have like really big reactions to this stuff, and it'll be completely new. But your soul remembers. So a lot of times people will hear it for the first time and cry and have a really emotional reaction. They don't know why. It's because the soul knows. It's universal. Hi, Deadly Nightshade. Good to see you again. All right, we're going to switch over the comments to subscriber only. I'm sorry. If you're interested in keeping up with the conversations or asking any questions, subscribing to the live's the way to do that. There's faces. I believe it. Yeah, that's cool. Sean. Oh, yeah. Hey, Sean, brother. I look forward to connecting this weekend. All right. Here we go. All right, Corina. I'm not sure if you're here or not, but either way, we're going to do your transmission for you. And if you're not here, we're going to post it on YouTube afterwards for you. And same with everybody, too. So if you want to go back and watch the replays, you can do that on YouTube probably tomorrow. All right. We're just going to reaffirm no harm will be done. No energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It will be an alignment for the highest good of all only. And only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. So we're bringing through healing, activations, upgrades, any combination of that as delegated by Corina's highest self for highest good and the highest good of all only. We're just going to reaffirm the connection to Mother Earth. Sirius. Place the code in the heart. Blast the code in the heart. Release clearing pyramids for 6 minutes. Plug in the healing frequencies. Run that for an hour. Do it to infinity. Run that for an hour. To fire up the transmission centers. And then give you that healing code. So I'm going to place this in the heart. You can guide this towards a specific intention if you'd like. Otherwise, it's going to go where it's needed most. Place that in the heart space. And then we rock and roll. Suparuta Nandara. Being really gentle with you. Focusing here on the upper energy centers, so like the third eye, front and back, and the crown. The systems that are connected physically, so like the brain, hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal gland. Not a lot of dialects want to come through. It's okay. Some people's energy just does better without it. Sometimes work in more subtle layers. Taruh merda. Era uma merda. Aventuranya. Sorry. Are we good? Confirm. Move on. All right. Your agreement code. Okay. Have to let me know how you're feeling after that one. That was different. See, I don't think any vocalizations came through, did they? Some of them, they're just different. I might have to go potty after that one. I have to potty. I'm not sure if Corina was here. But if you are here, Corina, I would love to see how that found you. Yeah, we were doing a little bit being gentle with you. But gentle doesn't mean that it's not ass kicking at the same time. a lot going on with the upper centers. Head is tingly. Yeah, that would make sense. Triple Moon Goddess. So did that person need a lot of releasing purging? Need, I think, is a strong word. I think part of what they could really benefit from is me assisting and releasing some things. So that's the way that it comes through on my end. On their end, it may be, maybe they have an emotional release. But part of my job is, especially in these type of sessions, is to help people move through things as quickly as they can, in whatever way is authentic for them. So yeah, sometimes, but yeah, it was different, right? There wasn't a ton of, not a lot of vocalizations came through. But yeah, it was just different. But yeah, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'm gonna go to the potty. I will be right back. And then after I'm back is gonna be Hayden will be next, and then it'll be Vanessa and Allyson, last three. And I think if I pause it, I think y'all can still talk. So I just want to double check. 1 sec. Oops. That was ridiculous. Oh my goodness. How do I change that now? I don't even know how to change it. Boop. I'll change it when I come back, maybe. We'll just turn it off for now. I'll be right back. All right, there we go. Hey, Anoka! Anuka, toraki paraya. That was a little hard to watch, almost like an exorcism. Kinda. I mean, when we're removing energies that we're not, so we can be more of who we are, it can be kind of hard. You know, it's not always comfortable on my end either. But yeah, you know, those are just humans. We love to put labels on stuff, and I think the idea of exorcism has already a bit of a negative connotation with it. So releasing what we're not so we can be more of who we are. That's the idea, right? Aligning with more of self. And then we can paint that with whatever belief systems we like. Oh, no need to apologize at all, Shields, not at all. I'm in no illusion to how everything looks and sounds, and we can't take it too seriously anyway. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, how different it is from like what we're used to in society. I would have to be crazy to think that this would be not look crazy, any aspect of it, right? But it's going to be more and more common for people, especially as more of us are just like standing in our authenticity, whatever that looks like, because that gives others, you know, subconscious permission to be themselves, whatever that looks like, because that's the idea, right? Just to be us. I love you, Anoka. Tarini se afianta. It's always so good to see you. We're going to definitely do a live together at some point soon. So if y'all don't follow Anu Starseed, Anoka, she does amazing work. So she's more of like an emotional coder. So she's really good about like diving into the stories, and she just does it in a different way. She does coding in a different way. So I'm more of a structural coder, like more of like a quantum architect type, even though they're just fancy words. And she's more of like an emotional coder. So and together, teamed up, we can do some pretty cool stuff, which we're excited to share. I've been finding more acceptance in energy and crystal healing practices lately. Beautiful. Welcome home. Yeah, follow what feels right. You know, you'll go on a path of trying a ton of different things out. You know, just follow what feels right for you. You know, there's no rules. You know, try everything out. Just always use your own discernment is what I'd recommend. I say try it all out. Try out different groups that you're inspired to check out. See what they're up to. You know, always do it with a big open heart. And it'll all work out. Hey, Carlos, good to see you, brother. All right. Hayden is up next. Is Hayden in his house? Not sure if Hayden's here or not, but we're going to go ahead and do Hayden anyway. I'm reaching a point of trying everything out and it's stressful. I don't know how to make it not stressful. That's a good question, Stevie Ray. So why I would start with like why does it feel stressful? What is the stress? Where is that stress coming from? What about it is stressful to you? And then you can kind of like deprogram that, figuring out where that belief system came from, where it's being triggered, that feeling of stress, where in your consciousness programs that is being triggered, right? Does that make sense? All right. So I'm going to switch it over to subscriber only chat. Hayden is up next. So we're doing Hayden. If you'd like to continue the conversation and ask any questions, things like that, being a subscriber to the live is the way to do that. But if you're open to receive it, it's for everybody. We're doing personalized transmissions for people. So it's personally encoded for certain people, but that doesn't mean that there's not energetic spillover that's for everybody that's open to receive. And if you've been hanging out for a little bit, you probably have experienced that. You can feel it, right? You can get some of the benefits from it. I'm going to switch this over. All right, so we're doing Hayden. We're just affirming that no harm will be done, no energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It will be in alignment for the highest good of all only, and only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. So we're doing healing, activations, upgrades, any kind of combination of that as delegated by the highest self of Hayden for their highest good and the highest good of all only. So I'm going to reaffirm that connection to Mother Earth, getting that platinum frequency that I'm going to bring up into my heart space. It's going to flow. I'm going to connect to that hot pink down from Sirius into my heart. Both of these are going to flow for the whole session. We're going to place a code in your heart. Open the heart, blast into the back of the heart and into this code. It's going to bring in some confidence, willpower, motivation type codes, and of course healing. And we're going to release some clearing pyramids into the knees and throughout the body. This will help to just kind of break up stagnant energy and transmute it. He's going to leave his hands on there for 6 minutes and then draw those back. We're going to plug in those healing frequencies, that set of healing frequencies. Plug that into the crown. We're going to ask that to run for an hour. Then we're going to do a big figure 8. We're going to run that for an hour, and then we're going to work with the transmission centers real quick. And then we'll gift you that automated healing. So just you can intend that this code works towards a specific area of healing if you'd like. Otherwise, it's going to go where it's needed most. I'll place that in the heart. And then we rock and roll. Just feel your body. Tu chievre tanto ti barotto che cosa barata in questa barata che cosa barata così però che moro che per canare da cazzo fare di mucci fra io voglio barata barata fa sarinda timbro de fasiuti tu va farà tu gandukra e hari non sora tarche ne che si frasero risto ha mondo da matare che ne che te as in Asia tu affere te grandon da mamataritea cristalla tati acandore che si presia chi brotto un faro number ne che deve seguire poi ora te per che per che mi da pratica ora non mandare da passare te canzoni per atari which avrò sore in tarde serie in a lot in the heart space a tutte le dimore tutti va forte molto orto Quiero para que no pudiera ver lo que se para que entonces casi para que también tipo que no que te tratar que no pasa para que te por que para que por que tu fare que se fare que se para que tu para que tu marcutar da machuta para que para que tu tío che che dimmi che para que se para que tu cosa para que tu para que no que para que te que tipo que se para que mutu por do moran darun rendo dai morde na cosa frascia ieri che da casa ieri rina na sarte che ne tutti per fisarco rare ne na kutar ta per tu hat de frascia to che non gorga na gara te per fisarto te mandare non da ti pro hafa ha sheka yasha ti sho afra shambora na che te fasi che te pro da para che suri vuoi barto va fahan papa da kuto para papa den che te ti pro so harata che se para che ti ati kata che se para che bua ti pro tar che te para che tu savia je ma hatu na ka te hesar Kalau kau berani berdebat kasus kayak kelahiran tadi baru kita lihat sih di peraturan usaha peraturan kita pocih pada mereka tetap fasilitas acara tidak asal tetap kita sebenarnya tetap kita berlaku tambur amar tanah asar ya Rena naka so farasar hesha erishi da tardesa nana ko te fesera pe va contro ku fahara ta pe yoruna nana ti per ya per ku ti per ni luzu ti pucha per ni per ke bayara ko di kasa yeshi ki prodon ku te frasa farata para ta mergeta pe ra ku di ka te per ke buci bru ku se mergeta pe per ka nsi ti per to ke sa ku ti ahi ushu ke ushu para ta fasa ta ti viz ke bru di per ta ke mer per ka msuor nana ka te da fasi per ke ti pu afa ade mana meno tu embor na maharu ta per ka fe aru ka ne ke se she La kunta marata fiarne na kotoro ke sia rote para te ke pus para ke chu fa chu para ke ma chu para ke tu ambur pa pe pro pa pe puti pa buru tu pa pro kon do posto para to fa sori shatorish dursh nan para tar che bratasia chari kana na kotu kesh ta kesh ta kanto ko ta pe prekke te ya kian na ka ta it ke sembra che ko ta pro te tu varrando di voto di per che ti varto di voto di maro da nan che di partu Corretta saluvrendo manato varno marato curo in marato da fare na casa fe sushi tureni nai
Arane no kutarta fasa perché ne moro kutarta parte un tutti però che poi ci fare tutti fatti in brutta parte che uso parte che fa sanno un tempo e bro moran quella di parte fasa che per cosa perché ne ci fare che moro kutarta per mo ci con sapere che faccia fare che ne perché mo ci vedi usa ti però se che ci fare che ne parte che ne che dar perché non ci fare in tutto perché ne kutarta perché non kutarta anche ragazzi che ne che merci vario ci moro che ne moro kutarta fare sapere che perché anche che ne che sa frasiera che era con un buon paprafi harga. Utarani hara. Namorota passi froscento kassi har che si parla non tutto. Andar nana che si parla più su afia saranta kayeshe te hier. Shamut harnanas. Renna kotara parla che mezzo di procurata parla hus parla che fa sempre su si mena parla che fa caro urul kan kata kaye kutu ya. Che protoro to fa sarri ati harnan. Baru namura nana che atere che si tu te prota non ancora che ne mere. Tambora tata che para si frate molto per te per sapere che marato di marato cosa fare a tutti sa si asara to cosa fare sempre ta pahala. Maro non è ma non è che deve essere che deve che deve che sempre che non ci può dare da che da saria tenga che deve che mi perché ne può proprio perché non cara se che per cosa per ne può che deve parlo da parare da cote mo cote ne mo tutti Wow, verharshanan dan so juicy dan Kira dan we have to mama fahato pepe fu afi pe afi fahafia fa anu mafia rota pa yakla kaki ani laki ila lagi ti wiru de ni lokuto ku ulu le mana ni karakterina lakin natas she 그런 못 svarate più svarate che saka hela che si farà chi morta che svara che non svarata su frasso tara c'era tara tani grata si c'è che yasanan torota mara tu fesha yakule kai grace c'è che si masora di brush shakya sanan tamani tu kaukush para nanda uf atama pawa tu fai wat ni maro che para ne ma guarda non mara ni karato se se fase nananda da esra che para tanta ti spesce yasu so a de suwa taran saneni ki kai kusa okay confirm move on buka warti afasa so we're going to use a grounding code kar che ne sia tarashi torna siri
Booyah. I'm going to set it back to everybody, chat. Let me know how that found you. We got 2 more left. It'll be Vanessa and Allyson after that. Hi, Agnes. How are you feeling? Hi, Tay-Tay. Good to see you. I'm so happy to see you. We're happy to have you, Agnes. Welcome. Welcome home. Intense. I love it. Yeah, it definitely. It's different. Each of them are so different. Oof. Awesome. Frankie, you're most welcome. Oof. Yeah, lots of head pressure. Still kind of grounding this one in. Do I give healing? Yeah, so we're doing personalized transmission. So yeah, the idea of healing, it could be activations and upgrades. It really depends on each person and what their higher consciousness is trying to bring through. So there's always going to be healing involved. It's just kind of part of the protocol that we do for each person. So it's going to bring through healing in certain ways. But and then I'll, when I'm doing my thing, it can be unique for that person. So we can be, bringing through activations. There was a lot of activations for that last one. Really like working with the energetic structures to kind of allow them more access to self. So there's a lot more of connecting to what you already are, if that makes sense, which is you've never been disconnected, just remembering it, allowing your physical structures, what we identify as the physical structures, to be able to support more of that signature frequency. Yeah, but if y'all are interested in getting a personalized transmission, so what I've done, what I'm experimenting with, is posting it on my Linktree or my website, and you can go and you can book ahead. You can see when the next ones are going to be, and you can snag a spot if you want. And we go ahead and go through the order in which it was received, and then I post the video. So if you can't make it to the live, I will still be posting the transmission on my YouTube too. So they'll have timestamps, and you can go back and you can find your transmission. You can go back and play it again and again and have more and more benefits from it. And then I also do one-on-ones as well. So if you're interested in getting a one-on-one, you can also do that through the link in my bio. So I essentially specialize in helping people access more self, really just like higher self-embodiment, whatever that looks like for each person. So that really looks like a lot of healing, usually. Healing, sometimes activations, which is like triggering or remembrance, something that you already are, and also upgrades too. So if you've already got some stuff activated, which a lot of people do that find me, that are just naturally drawn to connect, is because we can always add more bells and whistles. I'd love to be able to do this. Yeah, Nirvana Mama, you may already have it within you. If you're here, there's no such thing as coincidences in my book. I'm a coder, so I kind of have an idea of how the coding behind the system works in some ways, at least in an existential sense. And I know that if you're here, then there's some resonance to it. So I would just trust your intuition and let that guide you. Add more bells and whistles. That's right. More goodies, more attachments to you. Not attach. I guess attachment's kind of a naughty word in the world of energy work. But I was thinking more kind of like you add more like goodies to whatever you got going on, like all like little bells and whistles, I guess. All right. Only 2 left. 2 more. All right. Is Vanessa here? Is Vanessa still here? I know Vanessa was here earlier. Anna says, you tend to activate my healing you tend to activate my healing energy every time I watch you. Beautiful. That's you. It's just a permission from yourself to have that take place. I'm honored to be part of that process. Definitely resonates. I want to figure out how to activate this magic. It gave me goosebumps. Set the intention, Nirvana Mama. And then there's people who specialize in helping people activate their light languages and other tools and gifts as well. So, I mean, that's something that I can do. For me, I like to let the higher consciousness guide the experience most, because that's where we can bring through the most profound, results. Because we as humans think, we think we know what we want or what's best for us at the time, but we can only see this far in front of our face, right? We can only see this close on the game board, but our higher consciousness sees the whole game board. And I let the higher consciousness of the recipient guide the process so that we can bring through the most, the best that we can at the time. All right, Vanessa, I'm not sure if I saw. Oh, okay, you're there. Boom. All right, so I'm going to switch it over to subscriber only while I sling the magic. What's up, Oxyvert? Guess what? What? Chicken butt. That's funny, the frequencies changed when I said chicken butt. What am I smoking? Nada, man. What aren't you smoking? What are you smoking? I love it. Oh, you got me. Got him. Nailed it. Dang, man, that was a good one. I had no idea that was coming. Dude, sometimes I wish you could, get as much. Dude, if you smoke something if this was contagious through just smoking something, I don't know. I don't think people would want it. I guarantee you people wouldn't want it. You don't have any idea what comes with this stuff, man. To try to pretend to be a normal human being, it's like flexing. It's like working out to try to look like a normal person. And I'm not saying that I do. It's just... All right, Vanessa, enough talking. All right. All right, so I'm going to switch it over subscriber only if you're interested in continuing the conversation or asking about doing some knock-knock jokes or your mom jokes or something. Subscribing's the way to do that, and you can do all that when I'm doing my thing. Or you can just watch me and laugh at how crazy I look and guess what I'm smoking. I love humans so much. All right, here we go. You get your money back if you're not healed. So that's a very interesting question. So healing is a process, it's an inside job. So I think that's a very important thing to recognize too, is you can receive healing and not be fully healed. I think we're always healing. That's the part of the game. And the people that I work with are people who are already well aware, for the most part, are already well aware of how this stuff works. I'm not here to try to convince anybody, not here to try to advertise what I do, none of that stuff. I fully trust the process that those that are drawn to work with me, for the most part, I'm already working with other healers and stuff like that. And part of healing is it's layers. So if we look at healing, like think of healing as like, let's see, how would we phrase it? So think of us like music, right? So everything is vibration, everything is energy, and it has a certain signature frequency. We have our own signature frequency, right? And this is proven through science. We have our own unique frequency. And the problem is it can be really difficult to hear our own unique music. We are each our own song. That music is perfect. It's beautiful. It sounds amazing. When we hear our own music, that's being healed, is when we can fully embody our own unique song. The problem is that there's a bunch of noise in our music. There's other people's music, because your belief system, you're trying to project it onto other people, and people will buy into it and allow that in their energy field. So there's all this noise. There's emotions like negative emotions that we haven't processed. There's traumas in our energy field that we allow to be there. And so the idea of healing is really about shifting out those discordant frequencies, the song, the music, the noise that doesn't sound good with your music, with your song. And it's as simple as that. And there's many ways to do that. So you can bring through healing in a number of ways. You can do it through a physical perspective, right? You can work out, you can do breath work, you can do things like this. You can work at it from an emotional perspective, where maybe like counseling, tapping into your emotions and releasing those emotions that you never processed fully, those negative ones that we store in our body, and that will eventually create dis-ease in the energetic flow through our body, right? So emotions, they're meant to move through us. So if we don't process those emotions, they get stored in our song. And then we can do it through woo-woo stuff. We can do it through energy. You know, once you have the awareness of how this stuff works, you can do it with pure frequency. So what I'm doing is at a template level. So working at the energetic structure. So if you like the templates that hold form for energy to express itself. So before the morphogenetic fields. So once you affect things at a template level, it translates down into the physical level. Sometimes it happens immediately. Sometimes there's layers to it. And that can vary for each person. Some people have profound healing experiences, even when we're not trying to bring through profound healing. So I've had people that, you know, I just work on to just helping to them align with more themselves, clear up their energy field, and they just naturally heal themselves. I'm not healing anybody. That's a big misconception. I'm not. I'm stimulating healing within yourself. I am a permission slip from you in order to have an experience where you heal yourself. That's it. It's as simple as that. I know people are always, they try to project these ideas onto others because they don't actually understand how things work. And then they think it's like, oh, I got him. I got him. If I'm not fully healed, if I'm not flying, do I get a refund? Man, it just, you know, I would recommend to ask questions because that's how we learn, right? If you think you already got the answers, you know, that's great. I would love to hear them, but I don't have to buy into it. Tukarke, thank you for subscribing. Who was that? Thank you, Susie. I love you. All right, so monologue done. And I just think it's really important to express that stuff because I think there's a lot of misconceptions on that idea. I'm still healing. I'm not perfectly healed by any means. I'm constantly healing. If I was fully healed, I'd be flying around shooting laser beams out of my eyes. So get that. All right, Vanessa, here we go. So we're just going to reaffirm that no harm will be done. No energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It will be in alignment for the highest good of all only, and only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. So we're bringing through healing, activation, upgrades, any combination of that as delegated by the highest self of Vanessa, and for her highest good and the highest good of all only. So I'm going to connect with that platinum frequency from Mother Earth's heart. So there's that energetic structure of two tetrahedrons, what we call a star tetrahedron or a Merkaba structure, connecting to that bottom tetrahedron, which is a platinum frequency. So it's a magnetic frequency that I'm going to bring up through my root and into my heart space. So I've got the feminine principle, the magnetics, like a negative in like an electrical system, the grounds, power, energy, and connect to Sirius. So pull down an electric frequency. It's a masculine frequency down through the crown and into the heart. So I've got the grounds and I've got the electrics. So we're electromagnetic beings, at least in this experience. So we're tapping into these energy centers, energy systems. I'm gonna place a code in the heart of Vanessa. Open my heart with the magenta frequency. I'm gonna blast the back of her heart with this frequency into her heart and into this code that's gonna continue to flow. It's gonna bring through some pre-programmed codes that are related to confidence, motivation, willpower. So it connects with Alpha Centauri, it connects with Electra, which is an Pleiades system, it connects with Venus, and it connects with Lyra. Creating a double of myself, so a quantum double, places his hands on the front of the knees, and from his heart he releases what we refer to as clearing pyramids. They're gonna come out through the hands in sets of 2, up to 8 of them. It's old Egyptian mystery school technology. So a pyramid, paramis, means fire or light, and mid is inside. So based on the architecture of a pyramid, it's actually really good for transmutation. So these are going to zoom around the body and help transmute energy. Then we're going to use an imaginary thumb drive. So this is entangled with a number of different healing frequencies after I place a little code on it. You can think of this like a spell that connects in with different frequencies. So I'm going to plug that into the crown. That's going to run for the next hour. We're going to do a big figure 8. Do that through the whole body. That helps to move energy through. So it helps accelerate healing. And it also helps with integration. I'm going to ask that to run for an hour as well. We're going to use a shortcut code here. So an electric blue cylinder that I place a code within. Place it between the root and the sacral. So you're going to go up through these different transmission centers that we have, fire those up, kind of does a cleanse of the column of light as well. And then we're going to do another little spell. So we take out a golden sphere, I place a code within it. We place that in the heart space, and that does its thing. Towards whatever intention you like. Otherwise, it's going to go where it's needed most. And then we just chant. Ki protafia shatarte atata che nel cote prototipo rocota fra imbrocute la capata da china che si farà tu rino tati morto tu questi farà che te perché da tu imbrocute parlano che te saninto rine ne gatardi e sandara da hatur che si vresse montar tu cosaman te al kasuri tapua cracker in da chiara che prasir tu afreseti antante da cotare te fe amore para tu te refasando da cotare da papà piero così frasiendai c'è cucui non catare che fatti per tu fienza e tu re da marta per gauchi per che marta tu si perdi ma ungan bambaro no manduraia cero arte che sarte te nangor da par shaviaco te partianto ti parta che te merkte freki mucho io to io porto tu qui ti guardi per non so per che marta da papa che ti si perché non ti tu parta che io rondo chamma da hatar he kai rende carresiata cioè ikuk ambaro kanda che takai che ti fa sairo con ani oron te ta prashitiata talte rete artiana oritanana ku safahat harinne ta murina na hasura tu marata ush adesso ta marata ti afia con le che te pari ti ruta ranza che persinato che frasi morto ti orte per che ti farti per scinte che ti perse per che ne ti orto nuova rimorena na cosa fia satia tare sardi nintor te passivera che severa che ne pardon sa ceri te feranzari con ancora che na maricchi ni siri mutarni ciru afa hasakaya kala che ton kangolo pui la retta fa tante le tu che fia craenia et up pa fe a e me ne u aku ko la maha le che akaya ku sa che cassa per me hatati ete atame pero afere te che safia scendo te porta parando na mane che te resia lo tatu ki murtam burna nana rindor kasura ni fra altar che ne me vero tare numrena kupa lukrena nanre che proto fa sai chatra shandara ti fe kuratari pardem che di barata te che morti pro te pe asuri barata così sì Sura tardia sardia sua fahando mamato remember tanake tarehe seri che proto fa sandura. Focusing on something here real quick, kind of connected to the base of the neck. Ikara kasantu kasiata ke sani kasare ke tu kasirates. Something going on that's like around the high heart, a little bit to the left side. Upper back. So this goes up through, like from behind the left shoulder blade, sort of like high heart, a little bit to the left, and then up through the left side, or especially around this, like back of the head here, up through here.
Jammed up meridians. We'll call in the constellation of Gemini through the shoulders, arms, Leo to the upper back, and the heart, Cancer to the chest, Taurus to the left, especially left side of the neck, and Aries the head, especially left side. Plug in a certain set of healing frequencies. Plug it right in the back of the shoulder. It's definitely connected to like the CT junction, so like right at the base, like the cervical thoracic junction, right at the base of the neck. Which I know a lot of us have that spot kind of jammed up because we're always on our phones and devices. But it's actually really powerful, like nodal point too for higher frequencies. Let's just say that. Confirm. Move on. Right. So just so you're aware, there's still stuff that's going to be moving around. Like, I don't know if you feel it on your end, but there's a lot that's still like kind of like stuck up in the neck area. A little bit more on the left side. Just keep in mind things are going to continue to shift and move. Definitely, I would recommend to go back and play the replay once I have it on the YouTube, and just to get in there a little deeper and see what comes through for you. Just keep in mind that things are definitely going to be moving and shifting still too. So,
Okay, I'm gonna use the grounding code. Para dire casar no. So let me know how you are feeling after all that. Or if you have any questions, I'm sure there's probably some new people in here going, what the F? Be sure if you receive tonight or you are even open to receiving, to be sure to drink lots of water, especially over the next few days. Feeling good right now. Good, Vanessa. Yeah, keep in mind things will continue to shift too. So yeah, we moved a lot. I don't know if you've had like pain or something up in that area. I mean, we really focused a lot behind the high heart. So like the high heart area, like the thymus. So there's a little lump on our chest between our throat and our center of our heart, like our heart center. There's a lump in the chest, and it's like behind. Like this happens with a lot of people. We get it all like jammed up here. There's stuff that gets like stuck there. And it was like jamming up this whole area up here. So we did a lot of focusing on that, and we went through a number of layers. But I would go back and play the replay, and just have it go deeper and deeper. Lots of pain, yeah. Just give it some time, and it should shift. I mean, we did a lot of focus on that. So, and thank you for providing that feedback as well. All right, and then last but not least is Allyson K. Are you still here? Thank you for being patient. Shannon says, my head feels so much better. Beautiful. Good. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I'll put them on YouTube afterwards, Mimi. So yeah, I'll have timestamps for those that snagged a slot. Okay, perfect. Good to see you. Glad you're still here. Thanks for being patient. I have to kind of like BS a little bit between the transmissions so I can make sure that I ground and I'm cleared enough before I jump into somebody else's energy field. I've got like my little grounding mat, my barefoot grounding mat. Oh, thank you, Shannon. I love that one. Love right back to you, Amers. I'm well, Tracy. How are you feeling tonight? Yeah, Carlos. Yeah, there's lots of good stuff on YouTube. Well, not a lot. I should post more, but there's some replays from lives. Oh, and thank y'all for hitting 100,000 likes. That's beautiful. Thank you. That's impressive. I think, right? I don't know much about TikTok stuff, but it feels impressive. That's a lot. Thank you. The grounding mat is made. I'm not honestly sure, but I know it's conductive, so it actually conducts in a certain way. I have a couple of them. I really don't know. I guess I should probably know that stuff, huh? But it plugs into the grounds that go outside. What else do I got? I don't know. I got silver lined ones. I made them on my own too. So before I got like grounding mats, I made my own grounding stuff so I would sleep with. All right. I believe I got mine off of Amazon. I swear. But that's where I did get them. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Oh yeah, and thank you for mentioning that too, Shannon. Yeah, so I put it in my profile link. I need to make a video about it, but if you go to the link in my profile or to ty-el.com, it'll send you the same spot for now. But there's a link in there for the MDEH. So the wait, now I can't even think of the name. Multidimensional healing. Oh, why can't I think of the name? Help me with the name. Why does my brain do this? But it's a healer collective. So there's some beautiful souls that are a part of the group that you can book through that site for people. You know, like if you're ever curious, like, I wonder who these people trust to work with, and blah blah blah. There's a great access, a great resource to access those people. It's a link in my multidimensional. That's what I thought it was. Multidimensional healing collective. For some reason, when I was going to say multidimensional, I felt like I was going to be wrong. So beautiful, Ralph. Good. I'm glad that you saw it. I'm so glad that you're here and you enjoy it, Rachel. Thank you for expressing that. She said, I like it here. Thank you for being you and having this space. So thank you for being you and thank you for hanging out with us. You know, this is a collective experience. It's not a Thai show. God, it's cringy. No, it's all about helping everybody to recognize that they can just be them, whatever that looks like. And this is a safe space to do that. Just be nice. Just don't be a dick. Or don't be a jerk. Sorry, whatever. Almost there. One more. Hi, Shakina. So Igian asked, what is the importance of drinking water during these sessions? So this type of work, what it does is it triggers a process that happens at like pretty much at a cellular level. So we're working with energetic structures, and the cells are little worker bees for the energetic structures. So the cells hold a lot of these energies in our blood and our where we're holding things, because the blood carries these energies. So when we're doing this type of work, it like vibrates out this stagnant energy from the cells, toxicity from the cells. So the cells are really doing a lot of heavy lifting and vibrating and shifting things out. You're increasing your vibration. But with that comes a lot of stress on the body at times. And one of the best ways to support the body in that process is to feed it water, good water too. I like to use coconut water because it's got electrolytes in it. So not only just hydrating, but or not only just drinking liquid, but hydrating as well, with the different like salts and stuff that we need. So like, I also enjoy these. So these are bioplasma cell salts. So there's like 12 different cell salts that are in these guys. So the essential salts for our cells to function optimally. And I've heard this mentioned, I can't confirm it, but I've heard based on our zodiac that we're going to be deficient in at least 4 of the 12. So this one has all 12 in them, but there's other ones where you can just get certain salts just for that. But these are really helpful too, especially the idea of what we might identify as like ascension symptoms, which is really your body just adjusting to changes. I drink all sorts of different coconut waters, Tracy. This one that I got right now is just the organic coconut water from Costco, because I drink a lot of coconut water. So the cheapest and best for me is what I go with. And a lot of them, they put sugar in it too. So they can taste dramatically different between each other. So I don't like to have extra added sugar to it. I like it more like water. But some of them have extra sugars, and those can taste really nice, but just too much. Oh, you're most welcome, Midgian. That's what we're here to do. Thank you for asking questions. Oh no, somebody's dental stuff. Oh, that's the worst. Water is absorbed into cells easier with salt. Yeah, and it's cleansing too. Salts are pretty good for us. Celtic salt is good too, minerals in it. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, there's all sorts of good. I'm not an expert in that stuff. There's people who are much better at those type of recommendations than I am. I can always do better from a physical angle. I can always take way better care of my body, which I'm working on now. I like when someone explains something without leaving a lot of questions. Been taking CMOS for the last 3 months, and I'm really starting to feel better. Beautiful, Trixie. I haven't taken that one. I haven't tried CMOS yet. You are late, White Butterfly. I'm sorry. The last transmission. I'm just about to get started. Didn't mean to send that request. I'm not sure what you mean. Lesser. I love usernames. All right. Last but not least, I already forgot who it was. Allyson. Allyson is here. That's right. All right. So I'm going to switch it over to subscriber only chat while I do this personalized transmission. And if you would like to continue the conversation, you ask any questions and stuff, you can do that through subscribing. You don't need to do that by any means. I would recommend not even looking at the chat while I'm doing my thing. If you're open to receive, I would just say, like, close your eyes, feel your body, become really present in what you experience on your end, because it's all you anyway. Anything that you're experiencing is being stimulated within you. It's not me. So there's no need to watch me or do any of that stuff. Just be present and be part of the process too. Place your awareness into certain areas you would like some extra goodies, you know, like if you don't know where anything else, if you don't know what else to do, what I would recommend, this is actually a really powerful technique, a really powerful tool. Whenever I'm doing transmissions or whenever you're receiving energy healing in general, it's really simple. Relax as deeply as possible. I would always make sure you relax your eyes and behind your eyes, relax your jaw, because we tend to tighten up without realizing it. So just consciously relax your eyes, consciously relax your jaw, and then become extremely sensitive to how your hands feel. Like, so place all of your awareness in your hands, your fingertips, any kind of pressures that you might feel, any tingles, and whatever you feel, just feel it more. You're leaning into what's already there. And then feel that while I do my transmissions, and it'll boost it. So it's you're becoming more part of the process. Or your hands are extensions of your mind. We can heal the whole body just with the hands. Like, you've heard of reflexology, where certain parts of the body are represented in the palm. Like, that's how palm readers work. You can go through and you can do this work just on the hands and heal a significant part, you know, significantly heal the body just through the hands. So when you're bringing your awareness into these different areas, you're going to feel sensations in different parts of your hands. And the more awareness you bring to those different sensations, the stronger it's going to be. And you're going to bring in healing throughout your whole hologram, because we're holographic beings. So the whole is contained in any of the little parts. Yeah, the ears as well, the feet, the eyes, the tongue. Like, we're holographic beings. So that's actually like all over the place, which is really cool. That's why you can break down, you can decode what certain areas of the body represent and really get, like, that's how I do things. So I don't get the stories behind what's going on too much unless I get it downloaded. But for the most part, I work with just pure frequency. So when I feel things in the body, there's distortions in the body. Okay, there's resistance here, or there's pains here, or whatever. I can break it down and understand what's going on by where it's located on the body and what that represents metaphysically, because everything is psychosomatic. Everything is represented from a metaphysical perspective in our physical body, if that makes sense. All right, I want to switch it over to subscriber only. It's good to see you, Shannon. See you Sunday. See you Monday. It's Monday. Oh shit, did I forget something? See you Monday. When did you realize we were holographic beings? I don't know. I've known that for a while. One sec. I'm going to switch it over to subscriber. I want to make sure I get to this. Have your questions ready, though. Yeah, I've known that for a while. I don't know when. Probably like 2010 or something. When I started to get really into meditation. I didn't really like fully understand it, though. But like, didn't understand it, right? I got it. I knew about it. I was aware of the fact that that's how things worked. But I didn't quite have I hadn't had the wisdom yet in order for it to like fully lock in. I had the data, but I didn't have the wisdom, if that makes sense. All right, so we're just going to reaffirm no harm will be done. No energy will be taken that is not freely given out of love. It will be in alignment for the highest good of all only. And only those that are open to receive will receive, and only what's meant for them. If you're doing healing, activations, upgrades, any combination of that as delegated by the highest self, for the highest good of the recipient, the highest good of all only. Awesome, Shannon. Good. I look forward to seeing you. Yay. Okay, cool. So I'm going to reaffirm that connection to Mother Earth's heart, reaffirm the connection to Sirius, place the code in your heart, eject a magenta frequency from my heart into the heart and into the code. It's going to continue to flow. We're going to release those clearing pyramids. 6 minutes. We're going to plug in the healing frequencies. Plug that in the crown. The big figure 8. Run that for an hour. Fire up the transmission centers. And then we'll do the healing code here. Place that in the heart space. And you can guide that towards a specific area of healing if you like. Otherwise, it's going to go where it's needed most. And then we rock and roll. So just feel your body. You can also, instead of feeling your hands, place all of your awareness in the center of your chest. Just feel in your heart space, your heart energy center. You can do it both. That's even better.
Kamarota perrote fiason targeta che si elisce fiassero di manoto da sopsuku. Rita yasore numur dana kasari che presiaku. Ricargati ra sarri nanguro to parto perché non così va mero da mano. Torri che si tratti ma azza tardia sarena caso frasieri. Torri te non cosa fandre manak de ekure che si to parto fasi. Ma fa ananaka de eke kukule che arikana nasikire che ekire che marata dia si. Vi qua mbara non tua. Dove? Tipo kutu. Marete ne vedrete per to. Tu pure fare te che terza così. Che mura papa con ciò. Tu più. Che importa. Fatto male. Amarania. Vara mera narko ya fara. Supera hati hatsan, tieko telekta parikuta morna. Tibaru kote parata diete tiete, men tibaru tata kiti kati marata kata safarati meru tata kata tibar safarati men supera tuni moto badanya. Niente di anni na kata safarati che safarati kan gut parta meru. Porchu tatu de kasacharta makko loko aria kartani. Ya tia muruta prasia kan bor tia kan tibar te morchi. Dornan dandar ya satu ke pakanda ke ya klok tak kuti marpisia. Perché butte mara guardare da parte che ti parte yaro per godere andiamo a che ti capisce alright buco almeno buco e quindi perché quindi cosa che buca e lei che ti tu consideri che ti mangi il cui campo e che non cata con i mari però tu fa wafa tombra ya cata rinaneta e secoli pare puro naro con i fecchi Camborena, se che piarina cosa aiutare mai. Pari Corina maranava. Kutu ipruta baranambai, sharanari, taro sharanaro che mai. Per re nuro. Paratafe, tado kai, continuare a fare l'amo. Dera ti presupafu cuculi, pane nereti. Da uten paro nafo che kuiakna takia tukima. Che prosti fatta passa quelle cannaria passa che prodotto ci vuoi dire Antonio prodotti di merce verica di prodotti che c'è che che cuca men kuti barata fasete che ti asare da cadere che massa buci per non molto barata per tu ya che che si ci ku ife papa fiar den sa chature shin tu per cosa ishi ne kadar da si presi minuti per questo barata che per cosa che si Kucu brrrr ketrik motor dia mukuti. Ibarat umur nono warna kan ibarat pun ibarat kan ibarat tu auto kutu kurna ne ketira asal lagi itu pingkura. Ibarat urra nanne keturana. Ketu kato ki mafia kutaki. Retta da che rotto. Pura nandar to ketira ketira mukutu rotto. Perché mereka kita biasa kuti mereka pergi mereka biasa rotto. Kuku non tettu tara. Io tu canne che tu ti avrò fatto un ci avrà sottargin da io coi retarin tamara tu hefi arceti hand che cracchi e cohar tar ci morite diafra che pote from dir ta natia te su morsa tiakna fattar di pronti da spirasi a te ci ritornano questo ci frassi a hat maratarin in cusa rendere moratafi che brale lulalu mantursha c'è tu e te manda la cule l'amore mia la cluia rato le lesima dico io mali non canne ma no ma le lugar lo fa la luca mia non do chiede le cotari fereto a fiere mule lunga le manam vale mami nunca ne ma porro na mara chi per ti pretorati ci pur staranna na kutura kimra tardi ti fra turdan Kikia, Kibratari, Nefarani Atari, Gatama, Shartieri, Kimatosa Tosha, de, Ishatosa, de, Tarno Manana, Shake me, Ganiku Gango. You, what? Tamburo tu. We good? Confirm. Move on. All right. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna do the grounding code here. 3 star tetrahedrons, rainbow, putting a code in each one. One the crown, one the heart, one the root. Boom. Oof. Glad that was the last one because anybody has any questions? and also let us know how that felt for you. Good or bad. And for those who are curious, if I burp a lot, I'm yawning. That's how I help to release energy. What was that? That was a personalized transmission, so it's a form of energy work. Yawning, yeah, that's releasing energy. Katie Wampus. It's common. Intense. You're most welcome. Lila? Ooh, that was intense, yeah. You're most welcome, Allyson. Thank you. We did a number of things. Look, you sound like Yoda at one point. Yeah, some of them sound funny. Came in at the end. It's still grounding for you. Beautiful. Was that angelic language? There could have been some in there. I mean, it depends on how you define angelic, though, too. So everybody kind of throws around certain terms in a number of ways. So for me to kind of better answer that, I would kind of need to know how you would identify it angelic, right? Same idea when people talk about demonic stuff, demons and stuff. I'm like, well, how do you define a demon? Because some people, if you watch a paranormal show, they think everything's a demon. It's just like some like fractured consciousness of like some 7-year-old, and they're like, demon. I'm like, no, help them. Just help them. It's not. They just need help. For the love of God. Some of those paranormal investigators, man, they like it blows my mind. Like, I'm like, how can you do this for a living and not try to help these consciousnesses? It's just like a fractured, like looped consciousness, and they just like feed into this like industry where it just everything's bad, and I'm just like, man, we can help heal these beings. It's like there's like a fraction of their consciousness that's stuck. Why not help it? My husband said he heard Anunnaki. Yeah, Anunnaki? I wouldn't doubt it, yeah. I definitely wore that costume. I've worn all the costumes. At one point, we burped at the same time. That's pretty common.
I was getting the contagious burps and yawn. Yeah, so that's the thing too, is like people say how like yawns are contagious, right? It's because we help each other. It's an energetic thing. And people don't like recognize that often, right? So why do you think people think it's rude to burp, right? And or that it's, or rude to yawn in front of people? Because people will yawn as well, or sometimes they'll burp as well, because we are more entangled than we recognize, and we help each other release. So like that, it's not only that it's just it's kind of contagious, but it's like we're entangled with each other's energy fields whenever we're in each other's reality. So it's like, actually, it's like a good thing, I think. We help each other release stuff. We yawn a bunch when we're sleepy, because we release that stagnant energy, and it's easier for us to rest. Thank you, Ralph. You're so sweet. All right. Is any questions before I get off? I'm kind of pooped. So if anybody's got any questions that have been burning, I would be I'm happy to answer those before I jump offline. But you're always welcome to shoot me a message too. You can shoot me an email. The burping, farting is how you know the energy of healing is working, right? Yeah, that's the thing. Is like for skeptics and stuff, I would love that, like working on somebody and then they're burping and releasing all different ways, it becomes real. Even emotional releasing, that's something that we're used to. Like we laugh when that emotion is moving through, when it's a high vibration, right? We have no problem with that. It's like culturally acceptable to laugh, but to like cry or be upset, to be mad, it's like not culturally acceptable. So we get it pushed down and we don't process it. So even just releasing emotions, like what we might identify as negative emotions, like crying, having that kind of reaction or feeling angry, that's a huge win. That's allowing those energies to be released. I just happen to do it through burping and yawning because it's a lot faster. That's a big part of how I do my work, is just like boom, 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 boom. Like some people are really good about helping people go through the stories, right? This is what this resistance in your body came from, this trauma, or you're not doing this because of this and that and this and that, and the story is connected to it, or the costumes that the energies wear. What I'm good at, I'm not good at that stuff. Well, I'm getting better every day. Let's just say if it's relevant, I can do it. But for the most part, my higher consciousness is like, let's just like, we're the fast track. Like the stories will slow us down. We get attached to them. With us, it's like, boom, let's get you there as quickly as possible. And one of the most efficient ways to do that is to help release for you. And I do that through burping and yawning, which is much faster than having to process a full emotion of like crying or something. I used to cry for people. So that used to be very common for me, is I would actually process the emotion with the person before the person moved. They wouldn't even have to process it. So I would be crying, and that takes a while, like just having that emotional response, because it like seizes up your body. And so it's much easier just to burp. It's weird for people that have no idea what's going on. They're like, what is this? Like this stuff is already weird enough. My eyes do what they do. I didn't even know my eyes did what they did until I saw videos of myself. I'm like, oh gosh, okay. What I do is already weird enough. Now my eyes do this. And then, I'm moving all around. I make all these funny sounds that people don't understand at all. And now I burp. So if all this isn't weird enough, I'm going burp, 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 burp. Oh God. It's funny because like one of the things that I get so attached to is wanting to be human. So like wanting to just be a normal person is like, I have like an attachment to it. Like I hold myself back. I hold myself down because I'm afraid of, and in some ways, not in all the ways, obviously, but in some ways I'm afraid of being myself, like fully being myself, because, we've got a lot of wounds related to that. We get rejected for even being a normal person, like we've all gone through the experience of not feeling like we fit in. And that's even when we're like a normal human. But if I'm like doing all this shit all the time and speaking, it's like, well, that's out the door. It's like, that's being normal. I'm fucked now. You just gotta laugh about it. Oh God. And it's so funny too, because when I first heard light language the first time too, when I started to get in, like got introduced to light language, I was like, nope, not for me. Not doing that. That's great. They can do that. That's their thing. I'm not doing it. It rubbed me wrong. And of course, now that's the thing that I do. That's the thing I'm known for, is just get pushed pushing it out of me, like until I actually have to do it. And I can't even like control it half the time. So it's like, what you resist shall persist, you know, like, and then it just happens all the time. Anything that I'm like, nope, F that thing, it's like, comes slamming in on me. Oh God. That's why I'm like, F money. I don't need $1 billion. F $1 billion. Screw $1 billion. Oh God. Does this drain your energy in any shape or form? So that it can. So obviously the way that I do my stuff is very physical. So not everybody that does energy work, they don't have to do it physical. You know, some people are great healers and they're just going or looking in the air and they can do stuff up there. There's different ways to do stuff. With me, my physical body is extremely connected to my other bodies. So they're kind of like all integrated. So that's why it forces my body to move. So it's literally will flex my muscles, like my nervous system will flex my muscles to move me in different directions. So when I do the work, it's like a workout. It's like literally like a workout a lot of the time. And it's a lot of frequency. So it's just high frequency that moves through the body. Everybody's different. Every time I'm working on somebody, it's different. But sometimes that frequency is really high. And when it's really high, it just puts a lot of stress on my nervous system. So it squeezes all my muscle and then I get pretty pooped. I can get tired from that. But for the most part, I get really energized. I mean, look at me. I'm like all cracked out now after like 7 transmissions. I'm like, what are you smoking, Ty? Quantum energy, quantum light codes. Can I translate what I was saying? It oftentimes it's not really translatable, Tracy. It can be at times. So if I choose to express it in that way, it can be. But for the most part, I like to compare it to music, right? How music is universal, right? You hear music, you need to know what country it's from or what language it's in. You can feel the vibe of the music. So it's closer to like music than it is like English, where English is a very structured way of communicating. Certain words mean this, and in this certain structure, it means this. Very left-brained. This stuff is more right-brained, which is that receptive side, the side that recognizes patterns. It actually processes data much, much faster than the left hemisphere. So it's that knowing side. So it's more meant to be felt. It's honestly more meant to be received in the heart and in the body. So your soul understands it. It's like a vibrational thing. It's universal. And it's an exchange of extra information. As I look up in the 111,001 likes. I love that. Thank you. It's a symphony. Absolutely. That's what I'm doing. I'm playing a symphony of different instruments, essentially. I'm playing my energy field like an instrument. So that includes my body. So we have these different energy centers, these different interfaces for different types of frequencies. So that, they come in a scale, just like they do in music. So they come like a rainbow, right? If you see like chakras, they come in that scale of a rainbow, and those are different frequency ranges because, right, colors are different frequency ranges. So if I'm over certain parts of the body, I'm tweaking it. And also I'm tweaking it through as the energy moves through my body. So we have these, just like we have physical systems like blood, our circulatory system, our nervous system, our lymphatic system. We have energetic systems too, like meridians, nadis, axiotonal lines that come out through our hands. And so I'm essentially like holding chords, like playing, like if you were to hold chords on an instrument and strum it, it's kind of the same idea. So the energy that's moving through, I'm changing it with these, what we call mudras. I don't think there's a better name for them yet, but, or non-cultural name, but mudra comes from Sanskrit, which Sanskrit actually it's deeply connected with light language. So that's why Sanskrit's such a powerful language too. So like chakras, what else? What other Sanskrit words? Kriyas, yoga, asana, all those type of things. Is it the subtle bodies? Yeah. So, well, yeah. I know. We are playing with the different subtle bodies for sure. Subtle energies for sure. Good questions. Thank you. I've done this. While I do this, it lets stuff out for me. I get it now. Yeah, exactly. That's what's great is people are doing this stuff without even realizing it. Like I had been doing like these mudras for years in like meditation. I knew what they were, but it would just happen naturally, but they would be really slow, right? Like I would just, kind of like, those different, I would just hold in different spots, when I would meditate or when I did plant medicine or something, I would just get into these poses just like you see in spiritual stuff. So I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, well, that makes sense that our energy, it helps facilitate a certain frequency, holding it, you know, like that's why people do this when they're meditating, and there's other mudras too. But it just helps to attune the body. It helps tune the body to certain frequency ranges. But you don't see people going like this that much, right? Because these are complicated combinations of frequencies. So what we would call expressing light codes, and light is information. So light is data. So it's just complicated combinations of information that gets expressed in different ways. So it can come through vocally, it can come through all the movements, it can come through in glyphs and different like sigil type stuff. And if you see the codes, people see them differently sometimes. But those that are clairvoyant and that can perceive the light codes, sometimes they look like geometry, you know, like crazy geometry. Sometimes to people, they look kind of like the Matrix codes, you know, like in the movie The Matrix. That's what they are referencing, is light codes. So everybody's aware of light codes and light language. They just don't know the associations. Like when you see it in movies, like wizards and magicians, you see them going like this and doing spells, speaking. A lot of times they'll do Latin or whatever. It's because they're emulating light language, and they're doing this kind of stuff. Spirit fingers. Hear that term, spirit fingers? It's everything is already there. We're not paying attention to it. It's speaking in spells. So that light language is spelling, and even we call it spelling. Like it's all spells. Everything that we do is spells. English is a form of spelling, but it's been structured in a way that keeps us limited. So it's been designed in a certain way that actually keeps us from tapping into our power more, because it's structured. So unstructured communication, unstructured language, light linguistics, glossolalia. There's other words for it too. The language of living light, all sorts of stuff. But it's essentially a dynamic, multidimensional form of expressing information. How do we learn this? You know, I'm going to be sharing my perspectives, like all the stuff that I've remembered for myself in different ways. So I'm writing a book, sharing my perspective, but that doesn't mean that I'm an expert in any of it. I'm just sharing the ways that I've remembered, right? And there's not a ton of like information out there. Honestly, everybody has their own perspective on it. So I would recommend to absorb it all, like find people that resonate and their perspectives on it, because sometimes it's just a tiny little puzzle piece that you need for it all to click in, right? But feel free to ask questions, Tracy. That's why I jump on here and that I share what I do. Questions are amazing, like for everybody. Like I love questions because they help me too. So I'm mostly claircognizant and sentient. Thank you, Ivy. Where it's claircognizant means it's like clear knowing. So if it's like a psychic gift, if you want to call it that or whatever, it doesn't matter, just labels. But it means I essentially get downloads of information. I feel information in like a spherical way. So I just get knowledge. I'm a channeler. I get information from my higher consciousness really easily. So when people ask questions, I get it downloaded a lot of times. Sometimes I won't even know what I'm talking about until I express it. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I'm like, oh, that I hadn't thought about it like that. So that's one of the ways that I do. And then also through feelings too. Northern Gypsy asked, I wonder if it's the same thing as speaking in tongues. Yeah, technically it is. But the thing about tongues is that it's often coming through a different lens. So light is information. Light language it's an expression of information. And it depends, like it matters where you're getting that information from. So tongues is most associated with like religions often. And the thing about religions is they're meant to keep things in boxes. They have certain rules. This is the way it is. This is not the way that it's not. Don't do this. This is, shame on you, guilt on them, whatever. So the databases that they're pulling this information from are going to reflect that. And honestly, a lot of the people that I've heard expressing tongues are not pulling from light databases. They're some of them are expressing data, some aren't. Some are, I don't want to say are closer to like expressing demonic stuff than you can imagine, which is ironic. That's usually the way this stuff works, is when you're so obsessed over like demons and stuff, it's oftentimes because they're the ones pulling the strings. I'm not a big fan of that term, but just negative entities. Really, religion is really a feeding ground for negative energies and negative entities. I got nothing wrong with religion. If people are into it and it serves them, absolutely go for it. But it's by nature, it's restrictive. By nature, it keeps things boxed in. And light language is more of a spiritual practice, meaning that it's something that comes from within. It's part of what you are, who you are. It's not necessarily something that you do. You don't have to go through a hierarchy to connect with the divine. You are the divine. You're connecting with that that's already within you. So it's just a different function, you know. There's a lot of gatekeeping that happens in religion and such. But it's a flavor. Tongues is a flavor of light language. Dad joke for the day. I had like matrix code flowing from the ceiling. That was light language. Yeah, I would assume so. ADHD. Mama G. All right, beautiful souls. I love y'all. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you want to catch the replay, I will probably post this tomorrow morning if it's available. If not, it'll be posted within the next couple days. And you can go back, you can watch it. There's other things I post on my YouTube too. There's some free classes and such. Replays from other lives. If you're interested in snagging a slot, keep an eye on my link tree. Or like hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. Because sometimes I'm just going to jump on and be like, okay, who wants to donate? And we'll get you in a slot. And then other times I'm going to set up certain days so you can go on and just book ahead. But I love y'all so much. Thank you for everybody that snagged a slot. I appreciate you. Thank you for investing in yourself. Thank you to everybody who's gifted. I appreciate you so much. I love you. Thank you to everybody that's hit the like button so many times. That's incredible. Over 100,000 likes. It feels like that's a lot. I don't know much about TikTok stuff, but it feels like that's a lot. So thank you. And also thank you to my subscribers. I love y'all so much. I appreciate it. I wish you... I'm sure some of y'all can tune into it, but what that does at like an energetic level is beautiful. And it's kind of hard to articulate, but it's an energetic exchange at levels that aren't just in the physical, and I think it's really beautiful. I'm gonna get emotional. So it's actually very, very amazing. So thank you to everybody who has subscribed and just shared the love in whatever way. And thank you so much to my moderators as well, beautiful beings that help make this place a safe space to ask questions and communicate and receive. So, all right. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Check the link in my bio for more information, like one-on-ones and all that stuff. You know the plugs. You know all the plugs. So if you're interested, go find it. All right. I love y'all. Check out the link in my bio. I don't know how to subscribe on the live, but I think you can only do it when I'm on the live, and I'm just going to get off. So maybe next time. I appreciate you. I love y'all. Have a good night. Bye. See you on the astral. Cool.